Oh, I was on mute. How did that happen? I said all I said was hello. Hello, everyone. Hopefully, y'all can hear me. Yes, Pat, you do. Still have a $10 drama credit. I will let you decide how to use it. So, and everyone has to. It has to be consensual. So everyone has to agree to participate. And, all right. Let me pull up the news. I'm only looking for things that are new. So far, I'm not seeing much. Okay, no new. And no Twitter. So that's it. It's all us from here on out. I was up early today and I wanted to do a morning stream, like really early. I'm in a weird mood today. Like physiologically, the check in with your body thing. I am very irritable and frustrated. Every little thing is getting on my nerves. Um, and I wanted to stream this morning, but then I have things to do today, and what it is it's scheduling real life and streaming, and I want too much damn stream time, and I have real life stuff that I have to do as well, and it's causing immense frustration in me trying to juggle those two. Even things like watching Survivor is becoming a cognitively frustrating. Like it's more frustration than enjoyment right now. Um, yes, life is hard, exactly. And streaming is hard, and adulting is hard, and I'm trying to do it all at the same time. So what my plan was to wake up this morning, turn on the stream, and just stay here, and not have to go into the adult world and do anything. But then I realized I had all these things I have to do, and it's like how to juggle everything. Maybe Dolbez can help me figure it out.
I don't know if I'm the best one to help you figure anything out.
You better start figuring it out for yourself. You're coming up on that in that phase.
Yeah, I mean, I did move out and actually living on my own now, so I do have to figure stuff out. So
Wow.
that's why I haven't really checked in on any stream for a few months now, because well, this first off, it was summer vacation, so like obviously I didn't really. I don't really watch that many streams, when I'm going on a road trip with a family down in Germany. That's not really the occasion for
So you're
for
not an addict?
yeah, at least
Oh.
not to streams like this. I am an addict to YouTube, I will admit that, but I can restrain myself from joining streams constantly, even though I have been tempted. Like I'm sitting in the car, I know my family's around, I can't join, and to be honest, I don't think it's that enjoyable to just sit and listen. And I'm like, okay,
No, that would
join
be
and join
torture.
in the chat, join in the VC, but nah. But
I can't
yeah, so I
imagine
moved
watching a
out.
stream and hearing something and wanting to jump, having something to say, and not being able
Oh,
to join the stream, and
yeah,
having to
exactly.
stay in real life.
So that's why you just don't watch that kind of content where you want to engage and you can't. Uh, so that's the first reason why I haven't really been active here for the summer. But then also I moved out. I began college, and so it's very, life moves on.
So, okay, where are you in the same town? Did you
No,
move
no, no, no,
cities?
no. I'm up in Trondheim. So the town I lived in was quite small, but now I'm in the third biggest city in Norway, and it's the biggest university, I think. NTNU. What is that? Norwegian University of Technology and Natural. I don't know how you translate it into English, but it's It's the biggest Norwegian university, at least, NTNU. Um, so I'm up here in even more north than I'm used to. You know, when we traveled up, we went a bit further too. Just say we got up really north, and I think it's the most northern I've ever been. Actually, how north is Trondheim? Because I think it's like really far north. Like Norway is already far north, you know, the north way, like obviously.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm just loading in Google Earth so I can get a perfect measure. Okay, wait. Is that? No, I need a maps. I need it flat so I can see which city it's like close to. And is that latitude or longitude?
Latitude runs left, right.
Okay, yeah, then it's latitude. Yeah,
Ladder.
it's above Canada.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Oh, wow, you sure are way up there above
yeah.
the
But
cold.
to be fair,
You're
it's
even
warm.
with the cold part of Canada that nobody lives in. The
Yeah, it's like
territories.
that's kind of all of Europe is just so much further north than America. Like, but people tend to think of them as being the same, you know. So they obviously group them the same and think, oh, the climate is similar, so they must be on similar latitudes, but they're not. So yeah, I moved really far, which is like, well, okay, far for a European. You know, a 6 hour train ride, 6 hours away. That is
That
really
is
far
no
for a European.
for somebody your age. That's a big step.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Uh,
what are you there by yourself or do you have other people that you went to school with? Like do you know people there?
okay, yeah, I did move up with two other people who I know. One of them is with me in the same course as me, but the other I'm just living with. It's like
And
a,
is this a dorm or you have your own apartment, like your own place?
well, okay, if you use the word dorm in English, in Norwegian, that's
Well,
sort of a special arrangement and not just a dorm. But like, I live together with people in an
student
apartment.
housing?
Yeah, it's just I'm renting it as a normal person and not through any student thing. So I'm just renting a room in a normal apartment, and it's me, another friend, and then a random woman who's
Oh, okay.
I don't even know her
So
name
y'all are
yet, to
living
be
like
honest.
off campus in just somebody's house?
Yeah, I live way off campus. I'm like three
Oh, okay.
kilometers away from. Well, okay, there's multiple campuses. Like I think
Oh,
five
okay.
campuses in this city, and then they have like one in Ordesund and another.
Dang.
Well, okay, it is a really big city, a big university. I mean, like it's it's somewhere between 10% and 30% of the entire Trondheim population goes to. It's like Anthony. But let's see. And Edurang, I think it has how many, like 37,000 or 40,000 students, which is a sizable amount, I'll say.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
sounds like Austin.
42,000. 42,000. I don't know what to compare it with. Like Harvard? I guess Harvard gotta have more.
I wonder if UT in Austin. That's a big college town. It's a huge campus.
Yeah, what did you call it?
University of Texas in Austin. They call it UT. Let's see, 52,000.
Yeah. So, it's smaller but similar size, I suppose.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a significant part of the city, of the culture
yeah.
and economic life of the city.
I mean, it's really massive. Like going from my high school, was a pretty big high school, was about 1,000 students, to now being in a school with like 40,000. Although to be fair, that's spread out over all the campuses. So the one campus I go to is probably closer to like 15,000. But still,
All of your classes are at this one campus.
yes, because they basically have two main campuses, and then they have all of these lesser ones and the ones in other cities. But like of the two main, they're basically just the humanities and STEM. Like there's one campus for the sciences, for physics, biology, chemistry, nautical engineering, which is very important for Anthony, and the other one is humanities. And of course, I am on the humanities
That
side.
includes psycho. So what? Tell me about your classes. You're in psychology.
Yeah, so I got 4 classes. That's all I have. So I got psychological research methods, and I got introduction to social psychology, introduction to personality psychology, and then introduction to developmental psychology. That's my 4
Oh my
classes.
God! All, fuck. And you don't have to take any basics like math and English and stuff.
No, we finished that in high school. Like that's sort of
What?
okay. Well, to be
Like the
I think
first 2 years of college in America is covering the same stuff you covered in high is the basics, and then you get to take the courses for your major. Getting to take 4 psychology courses your first semester in college is unheard
yeah.
of.
Well, okay. I think the difference is that Norway has 13 years of primary
Oh, okay.
education, and at least I think most of Europe has 13 years, whilst the rest of the world usually has 12. So like
What age
we,
do you graduate? 18, 17?
uh, yeah, 18, 19.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we
Yeah,
graduate about 17 here.
yeah. So I graduated, the year I turned 19, which is this year, So
You I want to hear about your classes, but you sound the same. Like it's I would never know that you were doing all this just from hearing your voice, and you're so steady and grounded and well adjusted. I would never have known that you made this big transition.
yeah. Well, I have been here for how long has it? Yeah, for 20 days now. It's like a bit over 3 weeks. So I have acclimated somewhat, and it's a relief when you actually. Well, first off, I come up here with friends. One of them is taking psychology with me, and then I immediately find another like-minded friend. So like, I don't really worry about anything of the social.
Uh-huh.
And from what I've seen of the difficulty of this, I'll be honest, it's every single subject, every single class, except for one about inheritability, has been easier than some of, the classes in high school. But that's maybe because I'm already used to this kind of language and, well, topic. So like I'm comparing this to the most difficult stuff in high school, which I didn't know about it on beforehand in high school, but now I don't know. I don't have a lot of psychological information, I'd say, but I do have an intuition, of the topic.
Hmm.
Uh, and the funny thing is that I've always disliked mathematics, even though it comes naturally to me. I just don't never liked it. But the funny thing is that currently the subject that like seems the most fun is like psychological research methods, like how to structure science and how to analyze and basically statistics and math.
Yeah.
Like it's completely flipped the moment mathematics is actually, applied and useful to my interests. Now it's so fun.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Do you is are the other ones less interesting because they're remedial for you?
Uh, no, not. I mean, when I say less interesting, they're still more interesting than, most of all high school classes, because now I actually picked this. But it's just that, well, personality psychology, that's really fun. Social psychology, I was really worried about that because, that's the one that's usually biased and swamped in politics. But so
What's the
far, the
difference between
teacher
that
is
and
really good.
interpersonal psychology? Is it the same thing?
No idea. Uh, I'll be honest. I I haven't gone there long enough, and I haven't heard interpersonal psychology. That just seems like a sub definition of some theory inside of social psychology to me. Um, or maybe it's something big, and I haven't really noticed
Well,
it
like the
because my
psychology of intersubjectivity, when there's another human, it's not just individual. Our
isn't that just
personality or
social psychology
developmental,
in general?
there's a second human involved.
Yeah, isn't that social psychology in general? How we humans
That's what I'm
act?
wondering. Like, is it the
Yeah,
same? Is if somebody studying social psychology, are
I
they
think so.
studying the
Yes.
same thing that somebody that studies interpersonal psychology would be studying?
I I think so, because of what I've seen so far of social psychology, it's a lot of, how do you prepare and act together with other people? How do
Yeah.
their expectations shape you and all that stuff, So it's definitely, it's most probably that, yes.
Welcome, Zach.
Hello.
And then the hair, and you said developmental personality is the heritability stuff in developmental.
No, funny. That was actually in personality, because we talked about how, the interplay between genetics and upbringing on personality, and how, how much of it is genetic, and like, can we count intelligence under personality? And so far, so developmental psychology had a really bad start because the main lecturer is a Czech woman who has very bad Norwegian, and she refuses to lecture in English. So I just don't go to her lectures because I don't understand what she's saying. but, but off that topic so far, it's more about childhood development than it will get into inheritability and stuff, I think. I hope. But
So the
so far,
question was really the heritability of intelligence.
yeah, so that and personality, and how, what even is inheritability? That is the proportion of total variance that can be explained by genetics or something. I think that was the strict definition of inheritability. The proportion of total variance that can be explained by genetics. Yeah, that was it.
That seems hard to demonstrate, like definitively, how much is genetic, because some of it's like subjective and just judgment.
Isn't
Like there's
everything
hard to
subjective?
quantify
You use
personality and
twins.
tie it to
You use
genetics.
twins, both
Oh,
two-egg
I see.
twins and one-egg twins, or what do you call it, monozygote and dizygote twins. So what you do is you look at one-egg twins who have identical genes, and you look at people who are raised in the same environment, and you find a lot of those, and you basically give them a lot of tests, and you see, okay, how much do they relate? The correlation between those two, that's the total amount of both genetic and socialized inheritance, you could say. And then what is their differences? That's the non milio. What's that in English? That
Mi-
they're non.
Amelioratory.
Million.
Yeah, well, yeah, something like that. And then what do you do to find out how much of the actual correlation is genetic and how much is social? You look at two-egg twins, born at the same time, so raised in the same environment, but only shares 50% of the genes. And so you look at the difference in correlation between the one-egg and the two-egg twins, and you double that by 2 to get the 100%. And that's how you find out how much of inheritability is genetic.
Not to
So,
interrupt you, but are we on the ocean right now?
He's on his boat, his lobster boat.
Oh, this is in Massachusetts then, or
Maine.
near Maine. Okay.
Yeah. This might be closer to you, Dobes, latitude wise.
that is true, but probably not distance. Definitely
Well,
not distance.
Gomez, are you in Norway?
Oh yeah, I am.
I
I'm
uh, I
Norwegian.
bombed a Nazi submarine pen in Norway with my father once on a video game.
You did?
Yes.
Well, congratulations. I don't
Thank
know.
you.
so the personality thing, it wouldn't help you tell, like if you don't have a twin, it wouldn't help me figure out how much of my personality is genetic versus environmental.
Issue. You can compare it to siblings, but like the main point of this is not to figure out, like, inheritability is in general, it's for a group. On a bigger level, what on average how much of that is inherited? Like, you can't really do science that easily on a single individual. Like, of course, with a single individual, you could also just sequence your genome, and if we already know which genes signal for which aspects of personality, we can then see how many, how many of those genes do you share with your father, your mother, and their epigenetic expression, how much of that is different. You know, you
Oh,
could
you
do
could
a
just
lot.
compare the genomes. But okay, well, my next question is I don't know how much you want to get into this, but because I could dive deep, but what is aspect of personality? What even is that in a scientific sense? Hey, Hank.
Hey, Hank.
Stable, what do you call it? It's stable, temporally stable differences between individuals in thought, action, and behavior and
That could
belief,
cover
I
a lot of
guess, or
stuff.
behavior. Yeah, of course. Like my teacher, I think he's a bit of a personality absolutist, but because he categorizes intelligence inside of personality, and I'm like, sure, you can categorize it like that, but it's a useless categorization because intelligence is so big, you know, for convenience sake, both in research and in, common tongue, you should separate it. So I am more of the school of thought that you should limit what you mean by personality. Have that be because by the definition that most personality scientists use, they can just add everything as being personality, whilst I'd you know I'd
So
limit it.
thoughts can be heritable or behavior.
Well, thoughts can be inherited in a certain way because
How
everything is
would you tie that to genes? Like show that a particular thought
well,
came
okay,
from
think
it.
of it like this. We know that trait neuroticism is heavily inheritable, just as personality in general is. And we know that neuroticism means that if you have an opportunity to have a negative thought, a higher neuroticism would mean that you on average have that negative thought more often. You're more likely to have some certain kinds of thoughts. Like you can't really guarantee that this thought or
So
this
not the
gene means that thought.
specific thought, but just neuroticism, which is itself broken down into all these little subtraits.
Yeah.
So like at some point, the framework you're using to classify these personality traits is kind of
It's very
arbitrary
important.
itself.
Yeah, I'm a neuroticism skeptic. I don't believe in that trait. So
Well,
Hey, plasma.
I
Yeah, believe it or not, it has been so far. I would say overall. And thank you, Leggy. That was cool. I love shit like that. Hey, Hank.
I
Okay, well, I guess
asked
we can
why
continue
are
with
you
personality.
why are
No, but
you
no, guys, is it true that people in Norway are more promiscuous than in, say, like the United States or countries like that?
How do you quantify that too?
I don't
yeah,
know.
that's
They
the
did
question
studies.
exactly.
They did studies, and they said that at least the study that I heard said that they were more promiscuous in Norway and Sweden and places like that.
Uh, possibly the younger generation, although from what it seems that all the trends in our younger generation is something that we take from America, so it would
Oh,
be weird
right
for
back
the,
at you.
this promiscuity to be bigger. But no, I don't know. Maybe we are. Maybe. Well, to be fair, if you want to think that if we assume that there's a big correlation between alcohol and being promiscuous and that sort of nightlife, which I'd say there is, then I think Europe in general will just be more promiscuous than
Hmm.
America, just by the fact that in most countries in Europe, the drinking age is 18. Most people start drinking at 16, and in some, the drinking age is 16, and a lot of people start at 14. Like in Greece, like you could, if you were on a vacation with parents at like 13, 14, like you could just be offered a drink.
Well,
uh,
you've sold me. I'm on my way to Europe.
so
I
here,
don't think that.
but Europe closes. A lot of European countries close much earlier than American countries. Like I know Germany, like everything's closed at 9 now.
What? Wait, what?
Huh?
like on a Friday night when you go out? It
Well, probably maybe outside city, but that's why I heard from Germans and German
wow. What's
TV
poor
on
Germans?
YouTube. So
Do
Yeah,
not make light of the German people.
I think that's
Don't let them have any fun.
a German thing. The Germans are a peculiar bunch, very strict
Hmm.
and orderly, maybe
You think so?
to the extreme.
They killed billions of people.
Maybe not billions, but
who hasn't? Who hasn't?
I have not.
But your people have.
Not my people.
Good.
Y'all tried to kill us.
No, I'll just be proud that Europe has the highest kill streak ever. You know, that's something we can be proud of. We won the battle royale. Maybe not Norway though. We were subjugated by other Europeans. But I'm only half Norwegian, so the other half can play imperialist.
So is the Big Five the current like working model of personality?
Uh, well, yeah, you have basically every single credible psychologist in all fields either uses Big Five or Hexago, and the only difference is that Hexago adds a sixth. How do you pronounce
A
sixth?
trait.
Yes.
Yes. They
But the
add
credibility of
a
psychology in general is pretty low, in my opinion. It's pretty low, but they say they're credible. So
I would say that if you want to diss something inside of psychology, there's basically you're free to go for anything,
yep.
but I would accept like Big Five and IQ. Like those are.
I
would
don't
say
know about
credible.
Big Five. That seems.
No, I'll shoot IQ to hell. I mean, it's a quotient. They used to be derived from just not brain age. I think it's called something age, and now it's derived from nothing. And it's just a soup of statistics.
Yeah, it's
kinda
derived from
meaningless.
relative performance. Like you want to see how the rarity of your score. Like how do you compare to the rest of the population? That's just what it is. You give a
No, I want to see the absolute performance, and they hide that on purpose.
Sure, but you can get the statistics right. Maybe not on most online tests, but like if you get a professional test, you will get the absolute score. But like your IQ score is it's basically just the processed absolute score. You just look at how your absolute score compares to, the norming sample. So like the 1,000 people who took it, and based on where you score in terms of rarity, that's the IQ score you get. Like if you score 70 IQ, that means you're just in the bottom 2% of
Yes.
of the takers. And if you have a big enough norming sample, then it should be in good tests that's representative of the population that you want to measure. And so it is a good measure for that population.
Yes, it's good measure for the population, but it's not. It's you're kind of hiding the individual in the population. With
That was
tricks.
my criticism too of
Yes.
this stuff in general. How does it apply to the individual?
Yeah, the word I was
needed
looking for was
something
mental age.
that has
Yeah.
a practical use on the individual.
Okay, we can
level.
actually. So he in the personality psychology did actually mention like the impact of personality and intelligence, and he mentioned that the most recent meta-analysis, comparing academic scores and IQ and personality, came to that personality and intelligence combined stands for 28.9% of the variance in academic achievement. And then inside of that again, trait conscientiousness stands for 28% of that change again. So like at maximum, it's a 30% of your performance is IQ
that
and personality.
one trait.
And well, 30% of that again is conscientiousness.
30% of the 30. So what's the other 60%?
Most of that is IQ.
Oh, so it's more nature than nurture.
Well, again, it depends on which side you take on how much of IQ is nature and how much is nurture.
I'm assuming it's like the heritable parts.
This is a stupid
Especially
question.
with
but what
me,
would happen
nobody
if you-
taught me my IQ. It was just my natural baseline.
What would happen if you gave AI an IQ test?
No, that's a really good question. That's a really good question, Zeta.
Oh, they have that. Yeah, I agree. It's a really good question. Now, okay. So in an IQ test, the best, if we take the WAIS, the Welsh Adult Intelligence Scale, it has 4 aspects it tests, which is processing speed, working memory, verbal comprehension, and then perceptual reasoning. Now, verbal comprehension, the AI is going to be so much better than humans. Like that is, it's a language model. It's gonna absolutely dunk on us humans. And with processing speed, like that just depends on the computer, you know. But it's probably gonna dunk us in processing speed too.
Oh yeah.
And working
Same with
memory, it's a
memory.
fucking computer with like 60 gigabytes of RAM. It can dunk us in working memory as well. However, in perceptual reasoning, it's you know, it's not that good. I think they did tests all the different AIs, and like the highest got like 88 or 98 or something. So honestly, pretty good. But still, every single one tested below average on that aspect.
Yeah.
So
I could see that.
yeah, to conclude, processing speed, they win. Working memory, they win. And then verbal comprehension, they win absolutely. And then perceptual reasoning, they lose for now.
Well, what do they say? The human brain does trillions of operations a second, something like that. I mean, you know, no AI is going to outdo that at the moment.
Yeah, it's not an embodied machine. It's just isolated. So like an interesting statistic, the amount of information or units of information, and the word unit is pretty weird to define. Like, what is a unit of information? But at least the amount of the units of information that the brain takes in every single second is about 11 million, and the amount that the consciousness like observes and takes in each second is 40. So like we're only aware of so little of what's actually going
Oh
on.
yeah. Well, it's like the whole idea that, you know, reality could be completely, well, is completely different than what our five senses allow us to perceive it as. You know.
Sure.
Well, unless you're human,
Huh?
then that is your reality.
Well,
Yeah.
I try to think outside of human thought. Like I try to think outside of humanity, and that's only because I had a glimpse of it, you know. But it's like it's impossible to not be a human being.
Yeah, I agree. Yes.
We have to live with our lies. You know, I think David Hume's, he, you know, had this, well, it was in this intellectual debate, you know, in philosophy at the time, like, should we trust just what, you know, what our senses tell us, or do we need to be rational when you go about in life? And he's like, sure, the ideal would be that we are always thinking rationally through everything and deducing stuff and using logic, but we don't have time for that. We're humans. We don't have time. So we just gotta have faith at some point that yeah, this water bottle is a water bottle. There's nothing special about it. It's just what it is. And we can't live if we don't do that. Like that's part of the human condition is to just assume stuff.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. We are
Like
specific
people.
things called humans, and we're having a specific reality or experience that
Yeah.
is human, a human version, and that's all we have. That's all we're gonna have as humans. So we can't
Yeah.
go beyond that.
We're all humans and we may have experiences that we share, but the way we experience them are all individual. I mean, we are all in our own reality tunnel. It's like I picture it sometimes as, let's picture the human race as one thing, and we're all seeing ourselves from different perspectives, you know, with different reflections of each other.
That's very egg of you. That's a very egg. Who was it that came with the egg theory? Where like
Well,
we're like growing, like we are a god who hasn't matured yet, and before we can mature, we have to go through every single possible experience in life. So every single human who has lived, is living, and will live is just ourselves through different perspectives, so that we can
yeah,
find mature as
yeah.
a yeah. It's
It's like the multiverse theory in a way. Every possibility that ever could be has happened, you know.
yeah. Personally, I don't know how much I believe in those theories, but they sound awesome.
Yeah,
And
it's fun to think about.
Same with the conspiracy theories.
yeah, I mean, there's no reason for me to have an opinion because for now the science is completely unsure about it, and I don't need to have an opinion. So I'll just relish in being able to look at this and just enjoy it.
It's
And
just
I
a
agree
model.
with Mr. Bean. There's
It's
nothing is more complicated than the brain.
yeah, multiverse is just a model. It's just an alternative to
Hello.
it's just an alternative to you're still online, Jeff. You can still hear
Yeah.
you. You can hear your phone call.
Talk now.
Mute yourself for the phone call.
Oh, hang.
Thank you.
Is he on Grinder again?
I don't know, and it's better that we don't know.
Hank, have you ever looked at another human being and thought, that is me? It's just another aspect of me.
No.
Have you considered trying it?
I would just say trying it. Yes.
Look at me as though I am another aspect of you, and try to put yourself in the position of, like you're a multi-dimensional being. You're a multi-personality being. And I am just one of those personalities that's a reflection of you. And you are the same to me.
Why don't have so little control over you then? That doesn't make sense.
Well, because we're experiencing the subtleties in each other.
Yeah,
That's horrible innuendo.
Yeah, I fall out of it because I don't have as much control as I think I should have.
Well, you are nobody. You're an insect on a speck of dust in an possibly infinite universe. I mean, like, why should you have control?
I'll just power up some more. Yeah.
Are you gonna do a Hadoken or what?
Oh no, I'm gonna do a Hakai.
Where did Jeff go, man? He's on the phone with somebody?
Yes, he's on the
know.
phone. I told him to mute so we wouldn't hear his phone call. I wanted him to have his privacy.
Who the hell is he
It would be so interesting. Like, what does he get up to? Like, what secret phone calls?
Yeah, what is he doing? Who talks to him on that radio, and who do we talk to?
Privacy is not allowed because life is more interesting if we can observe other people's privacy, It makes for better content.
That's a Jack Talcott no secrets policy. I'm against that. Didn't work for him.
Man, Jack Talcott just irritates me, and I'm not sure why.
I forget time and time again who Jack Talcott is. Like, I've never seen him. I just hear you mentioning him, and I've asked multiple times, and I forget every single time.
Yeah, so he looks like Colonel Sanders. He comes on. He comes on at 5 Eastern Daylight Time right now, and he's a hippie liberal Christian.
He looks like the guy in every movie about like the devil or something. He's the college professor that the kids all go to get like advice on how to beat the devil. Like he's the satanic looking. He looks like a satanic professor.
Oh, that is well, that's certainly a character. Why someone should make a documentary about this, like documenting all the different personalities and characters in this like miniature debate sphere. I don't know what we would call it.
We call it the panelverse, but it's like a subset of the debate sphere, I think.
Yeah. So call it that. Also, do you think someone should gift this Talcott guy a deck of cards, so he can just be tarot for like a single stream?
I just figured out why I don't like Talcott. He's so smug. That's what it is. He's smug.
Oh.
You know what? I actually agree, but I kind of like it. I think it's cute.
Who's on Grindr now? No, but I need to see a clip of him. Who is this guy?
By the way, just Frank doesn't like me for some reason. I can't imagine why. I'm so lovable.
He doesn't like anyone, so don't worry about it. You have to grow on him.
Yeah, he doesn't like anyone.
Everybody loves me.
Actually, does he even like Jeff? I think
No.
Jeff is like in the neutral zone. Like he doesn't like him, but it's
No, Frank does not like Jeff. He doesn't like anyone.
Okay. Well then, Why is the first thing I see just videos with a dove and like a a bush?
Frank says he's not a fan of old potheads. Me neither, Frank. I
Oh,
hear you.
that's what it looks like.
Yep, he is one. He is one.
I only
Just,
smoke pot when I'm
just in.
awake.
Just Frank says he does like Cynthia and Bex.
I only smoke pot when I'm awake, Frank. So don't judge me.
I'm ruining
Oh,
my Pringle.
Just Frank says he also loves Jack Talcott. Okay. But it's just his favorite show. And then Survivor.
What? No, wait, who even? Yeah, I just realized I can't really say I have any favorite channel in this entire sphere because the only thing I watch and join is like Jeff, nothing else. I don't
Then
even.
that's your favorite channel.
Yeah, but you can't really call it a favorite if you just
Yes,
have
we can.
one.
Yeah,
No,
you can.
that's dishonest.
No, it's not.
To
If you only
myself.
watch one channel, then it's your favorite by default.
Yeah, but it's also your most hated one by default. So like,
Yeah, that's technically correct. So probably find some channel to hate.
I used to love this channel until a certain individual showed up and ruined it.
Mm.
Not you, Hank. You were here before me.
That's technically correct. I was here before you.
everyone's there before you. No, actually, I don't know how recent you are. I'll be honest, but you're
I'm
at
like
least.
I'm like 2 or 3 months old on the streaming panel verse. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, about maybe it depends on where you want to draw the lines. I'm either a year or a year and a half.
Yeah, I'm either. How much would it be? I'm either 2 years or 0 years because I don't have any presence other than being on this stream, I suppose. Is that no? It's not 2 years. It's not this March, but last year's 1 year and then like 5 months. Okay, yeah, either that or 0.
Did I hear you say earlier that you were near Trondheim?
I'm in Trondheim
In Trondheim. Okay. Have you ever been Elfheim?
to
Elfheim?
no.
You know where the elves live.
Yeah, no, that's called. Wait, what is it called? Vanheim, I think. And like actually, no, I don't remember my 9 worlds. I haven't. I'm a bad Norwegian. I haven't memorized Yggdrasil.
Oh, Yggdrasil, yeah.
You know, why do textbooks always love to have these sort of very like they try to pretend to be cool names? Like my Norwegian book called itself Yggdrasil. Like what is it? Why?
So,
Why?
well, Yggdrasil is a really common name, anyways. So, but also textbooks are very boring, so you had to try to entertain yourself somehow.
True. I mean, my mathematics book in high school was just patterns. Just patterns. Well,
Yeah, that's all it is.
and the suffix. It's like patterns S2. It was the most epic book ever. No, but
What's cool to do in Norway? Like besides just drinking and shit. I mean, like is there fun things to do or?
being Norwegian.
Yeah, other than that.
Care taking the public transport. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna be a leftist streamer. No, well, one of the best things is actually the nature and the fact that Scandinavia in general is a really walkable place. It's like you can walk in the mountains, walk in the woods, walk in the towns. It's like that's really nice to just, I want to go to Oslo for this weekend, and I'm just gonna walk around there. I'm just gonna sit at the pier, sit by the sea, eat some ice cream, and then continue. That's one of the most underrated parts of it, is that everything is so walkable.
Yeah.
Both nature and civilization. So yeah, that's definitely one of the best things to do.
And because of that, I bet you don't have a lot of fat people, right?
Well, we have a lot of agriculture, so a lot of fat cows. But,
No, I mean people though. They're generally thin, right? Within reason.
we have a few of them, yes, but not as many. No, I think it's also something to do with.
I have no idea what I missed. My mom called.
We're talking about fat people.
Crab people? Hey, Chuck.
Fat people.
Crab people. Yeah.
Fat people? Fat crab people? Hey, Philip.
Like,
hey, Moose. Frank, everybody in the audience.
Yeah. It's like one of the big differences, I think, for why America has so many more fat people than most of Europe is that, well, the EU and the governments actually have a lot of strict regulations on actual chemicals you can put in your drink. Like, just search up American Coke and European Coke. And
what, y'all have stricter or we have stricter?
They have stricter.
Yeah, we have rat legs in our peanut butter, roaches and rats in our peanut butter.
And magic corn, everything.
And they make Mountain Dew in certain countries.
Plus, I think Americans eat a lot of grease and they drink a lot of sugar.
And we banned Coke. No, I mean Prime, not Coke. We banned Prime, the
energy
Logan Paul drink.
What, Prime?
Yeah, it's an energy drink.
Oh. Yes, it was from that scammer. What's his name? Jake Paul?
Yeah.
Was it Logan Paul?
Completely passed me by.
If any of you have tasted what you call Mexican Coke, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's just European Coke. That's just non-American Coke.
Yes, it uses sugar cane.
The overregulated kind. Sure.
Overregulated. It's actually, I can't say it's better because I haven't tasted American Coke. And the little.
Wait, you haven't had American Coke? How?
Yeah.
How could there be someone on the planet that has not had American Coke?
It's banned from because it's trash.
What? I've never met someone that has never had the taste of American Coke.
Yeah, when I was in Germany, you couldn't get it any.
Yeah.
I'm so
it was all the
sheltered
European.
and out of touch.
It's because of the additives.
Yeah, it's way too many. But no, it does taste good though. Like the American drinks I've had, like the American sodas, because you can get them in like the Swedish border, Swedish Norwegian border. You have like these really big shopping malls, and I mean like big, like miniature cities, and they have like American import goods. So every time I go to the cabin, I just load up on some really unhealthy American sodas.
Do they have Coke?
No. Why would they sell something we already have a better
How do you
version
get?
of?
I want to get you a Coke. How do we get you Coke?
I gotta go to vacation to America, man. That's what I gotta do.
Is there no Coke closer to you? Does Sweden have Coke?
We have Coke, but not the unhealthy.
No, but the American. You don't have Coke. You have something you're calling Coke.
They got the
American
white
Coke
powder
Coke.
version.
I can focus.
No, Jeff. We have the fake Coke because they can make it cheaper with corn syrup.
Yes.
And additives.
Correct.
Well, didn't it start here? Like, wasn't it an American drink?
Yeah,
How could they have the real Coke when we invented it?
Because
we could cheap out more here. They made the real Coke.
Oh, so they kept the original.
Yes, and
we're the ones that changed it. So they actually have the real Coke. I don't want to believe that.
Okay, what do you?
American beer, Budweiser, is owned by Belgium now.
Oh,
yeah,
maybe it's finally gonna get better. No. Wait,
right?
Budweiser? You call that American? Isn't Budweiser a German word?
It is.
Hey, Moose.
Yeah. Adolf.
Wow.
Anheuser-Busch, yeah.
That sounds German to me.
Yeah.
But St. Louis is where he was at. Augustus
I heard Chuck
Bush.
talking about white powder, and I was just wondering, Chuck, as a man of God,
You must have tried that white powder, right? Because that
Negative,
purity power.
negative, negative. Never have.
Okay, so neither
But
have
my
I. But why
but
would you?
my
Why would you
brother,
assume that he has? And you're
I
echoing,
did.
Chuck. You're echoing. You sound like you're in the bathroom taking a shit right now. Are you okay?
Who, me?
Uh, it's because I'm mobile. That's why.
All right, sorry.
Oh,
That
me
I'm in
that
my
was a little
car.
weird.
That's all right. No, my brother used to have an $800 a day habit.
Wow.
My God, $800 a day, Jeff. Imagine what kind of like production we could put on with $800. We could have
Tell
light
me
Damn.
$800
episodes.
a year I could put on.
If you guys donate $800 to me, I will develop a cocaine habit on stream.
If you
I'm
talk
t-
to me, I'll have 1.5 months of rent. Please donate.
Wow, one and a half
yeah,
months of rent, dude. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Uh, I will say though, the quality of the building is like from the 50s, but it works.
I
The
used
So
to
why don't
pay
you
50s?
my
fix that?
rent. I used to pay my rent in Germany with a bottle of Hennessy, a big bottle of Hennessy,
The Green Monster? No, Hennessy. I'm sorry.
Hennessy,
Just
cognac.
one bottle was your whole rent?
One bottle and two cartons of cigarettes,
Wow.
American cigarettes.
Are you sure
Yeah.
you went like in Eastern Germany? Because that sounds like a very Eastern German thing.
Well, that was back in the late '70s and early '80s. The landlord enjoyed cognac and Marlboro cigarettes.
Did you
So
ever
he
have a
was,
mullet, Chuck?
what's that?
Did you ever have a mullet like in the 80s?
No, I was in the army. We couldn't
I
have
mean, that's
that
a
crap.
Like
serious
Joe
question,
Dirt?
boys. I don't
Yeah,
know anybody who lived through the 80s except for Chuck.
I was in the 80s, but I didn't have a mullet. I had a
you talking
mohawk.
about? I was raised in the '60s.
We
I
tried
used
to
to
grow
hair
Max
down to the middle
nails
of my back.
when we
What
had.
does you being born in the 60s or whatever have to do with living through the 80s where they were like they had the
because
hair bands and the
because I,
tight
I
pants?
I lived through the original hippie movement.
Did you have bell bottoms?
Yes, sir.
Oh no.
I was so
Yeah.
proud of those. Had flowers all over them. I was
No.
styling
Pictures, pictures.
and, and bald headed.
Like
Oh,
You were
My
bald
dad,
shaved
headed,
your head
Chuck?
my dad wouldn't let us have long hair until
like
we
Hare
got to.
Krishna bald.
Well, it was a crew. It was short. Wasn't bald though, but he wouldn't let us have long hair until we
But he
hit
lets you have the
teenager.
flower bell bottom pants.
Yeah, exactly.
My daddy won't let me wear long hair, but I could wear flowers on my panties.
Hey, that was a chick magnet, dude. Them
I bet
jeans
it was,
were
bro. I'm
chick
not even making
magnet.
fun of you. I'm just entertained by the fact that we can have this conversation. I don't know anybody who actually lived through the 70s that like would talk about it, you know?
Oh
I lived through the
shit.
I
70s,
had I had fucking
not the
bell
60s.
bottoms in the 70s.
I
My
don't think we
cousins bought them
did.
for me for my birthday.
That's fucking dope, dude. That's dope. See, I grew up in the 90s, right? I graduated 2004. So I was rocking those fucking
Oh my
parachute
god, I
pants.
would have
I
taught you in school.
I
Oh,
had
the
the
hammer, MC
black
Hammer pants.
yeah, the MC Hammer pants with the big
Oh
ass fucking
crap.
zippers and it was like a
Oh,
parachute, man.
that was so you could shit yourself and nobody would see it.
No, that's because I had so many pockets. I could have my marijuana in one pocket. I could have my bottle of vodka in the other. I could have a bitch
Ah,
inside my pants if I wanted to. I literally could put my girlfriend inside those big ass parachute pants. So I did. I
Moose,
I
you
had
said,
did
I had
not
sex with her at school in the
in
quad
the
in front
hammer
of
pants.
everybody, and
You did
nobody
not
fucking
go to high
noticed it.
school with You did not grow up in hammer
I
pants.
did, bro, and I had spiky hair too. I had
oh
spiky
The
hair,
Lord.
and I was
spiky
a
hair I could
hundred.
see. That I
I was
could see the
110 pounds, and I literally look like a dork, a fucking dork.
Okay.
Well, if
We
you were
had
in hammer
I
pants,
still
yes you
kind of look
did.
like a dork. So
in
Now,
the
now,
80s,
Jeff.
even as a child for the 80s, we used to have flat tops and used to be rat tails.
Oh
I
my
remember
god.
the rat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
rat tails.
the Phantom Menace. I was just watching that shit yesterday. The
Yeah.
Clone Wars, rather. The Clone Wars. They had the little tail.
Yeah, that's what we used to. And you used to have.
I,
It used to be good if they curled at the end.
I seen a
Yeah.
bumper sticker for you today, Jeff.
Oh,
It said LGBTQ, and then they spelled it out. Let's get Biden to quit.
oh. Well, it worked.
Yeah,
I'd
man.
laugh my ass off.
The sad thing is, bro, is that even if he quits, that it doesn't matter.
Oh, you mean
No.
to quit the presidency and
Yeah,
let
yeah.
Kamala
Yeah.
take over now?
My big question.
No,
Yeah.
don't do that.
My big question is, if the Democratic Party basically decided he's unfit to run for re-election, but he is fit for running the country for another like 3 months.
Yeah, it makes
If
sense.
6 months.
Because
6
you
months.
guys don't understand, the president doesn't really run the country. He's just a figurehead.
Yeah, we understand.
Well, you
They
do, Zatoichi.
they
He's the head of the executive branch. It's one of the
the
three co-equal
departments
branches
do
of
what
government.
he says. Yes, the departments do what he says.
Yeah, but you know what would be funny? Like Biden, he doesn't run, and then Trump wins. However, he has to wait until January for his inauguration, and Biden dies in like December or something. So Kamala Harris can like be president for like
Be
2
the
weeks,
first black
and
lady
Trump
president.
can
She's
be
already
president.
she's
She's not
already
even
the
fucking black.
nominee.
She's Indian. If she was black as Hank, I'd vote for her, like, hands down. I would go and register to vote.
She's the wrong
You
kind of
ever
black.
seen her? You ever seen
She's
her
not the
dad?
wrong color black. She lied about being black. She's not, you know what I mean?
Yep.
If she's not African American, she's Indian,
Yes.
she's Jamaican. So, as far as I'm
People
concerned,
say that
she's
about
not one of
me.
those.
Uh,
She's not one of
her
those underprivileged people. She was an overprivileged
Is
person,
that what
and
black meat
therefore,
connotes? That it's underprivileged? Like the reason you want
Yes.
to be known as black is because you've come from
Yeah, yeah,
struggle and
yeah,
underprivileged.
Yes. Also, she's a boomer. I thought she was a boomer. That doesn't scare me up. She is a boomer. So, no
I
vote
don't even
for
know
her.
how old she
And
is.
here's the thing: she's Indian when it suits her. She's
No,
black
they
when it
say I'm
suits
not
her.
black.
Huh?
That's racist. don't call Jeff not black.
I love how you say this exactly as the light reflects off his forehead, completely
uh,
white.
1964. Oh, okay, so she is older than me. Wow.
Wait, she is
She's
that
right on the
old?
cusp of
Yeah.
Gen X and Boomer.
They say 65 is generally the cutoff.
damn, she's 4 years younger than me.
you know, even Michelle Obama, I would vote for that dude in a heartbeat. It's like I'm all about the dream, right? Get the black woman or man in the presidency, and then we'll see everything's gonna change, right? Reparations. We'll make sure that the police aren't chasing down the minorities anymore. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like
That's what
everything
it
will be fixed.
symbolizes to
well,
them?
I kind of like when
I
the
don't
police
know
chase
what it
down the
symbolizes.
minorities. A lot of them are annoying. So,
I don't know. I'm writing this one out.
I'm just saying, man. I'm saying if you wanna vote for change, Michelle Obama is the only one that needs to. I mean, if she really wants to be a woman, she's gonna need a transition.
What?
The
I
Some
seen
people
the
presidential
think
package,
transition
Jeff.
that.
team.
I seen her package hang dangling in
that
the dress,
that's
man.
just
I
camel
saw those
toe.
pictures.
That's just camel
That
toe.
bro, if that's a camel toe, that's the biggest camel foot I've ever seen.
No, it's a foot.
It's not a toe, man. That thing was like 10 inches long. Bro, she's more of a man than I am. I can admit it.
Well, I
Like,
won't
man,
disagree with that. I won't disagree.
those broad shoulders. I mean, those broad shoulders. He has broader shoulders than fucking Obama.
She could
All
throw a
right, all
mean
right.
hoop too.
I'm gonna
I
yield.
love
I've been a
that
little
I
too
didn't
funny.
grow up with this
This is
controversy.
an entertainment channel, so thank you for the entertainment.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
What you
Oh,
mean?
now that Chuck's here, now all the fun's gonna stop. Fucking boomers.
Oh, I could leave. I mean, shit. It ain't that
Oh, I'm
big of
not
a
asking
deal.
you to leave, but when you're calling
No,
in
I.
from heaven, it
We
makes me
miss
a
all your
little
Chuck
jealous.
stories if you leave and your wisdom.
He's calling in from the clouds, man. He's sitting right there
But I
next to
do, I
Jesus.
do want you to like focus if you're in the car, like focus on, because I know
Oh,
you're
I'm
adventure
parked. I'm
prone
parked. I'm parked.
Why did you
I'm not
repeat that so
driving.
many
Okay.
If you were driving, I would write you a ticket.
For streaming while driving.
Yes.
No, I'm parked. I'm in a parking lot.
times?
I'm
I
gonna
was
go in the
streaming while
grocery
driving
store.
yesterday. I don't give a shit. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Pull me over and say, "Oh, what's on your phone?" Well, I'm not even
Who are
using
these
my
people?
phone.
I've got hands free.
He's got the hands-free headset on because every time he comes to Jeff, he's got to go take a ride in the car and get a little privacy.
Mm.
They're gonna have it built into the cars in the future. You'll be able to talk through your
They already got that.
dashboard and you see
Yeah, I
all the
have it
little
now.
streamers on your.
My
It's
car is
essentially
going to be
Oh,
even better.
I have it
My
now.
car, you're going to be able to put the key in the ignition, and then all of a sudden, this fucking rubber mouth is going to go right over your junk.
uh, there is no key anymore, Moose.
Oh, that's
The
right.
new car, the new
That's right.
cars all have a fob and a push button.
Moose, is
I hate
everything
this.
okay at home? Are you having adequate marital relations?
Oh,
Well, Moose got
yeah.
divorced.
I've been pounding that pussy good lately.
Oh, okay. Well, just
I thought you went through a divorce this week.
What? Where did you hear that?
You and Denizen.
Oh, Denizen. Fuck Denizen.
So I said you guys got a divorce.
What is he? Is he bitching about it? Is he
not,
whining about it?
No,
not
he
really.
ain't
What?
saying. No,
so
he
he
ain't
just
really
stirring the
talking
pot.
about it.
That's
No, I was
good
just
because he
trying to. I was trying to be funny. Was all.
Okay,
I'm
he knows
sorry.
betrayed my
Yeah,
trust. No, you're funny. He
It's like
betrayed
a.
my
It's like
trust.
a.
pretty funny.
It's like
it's
a dad joke.
It
it's
is.
I'm gonna be honest. There's more bad blood between Pussy Paul and Moose than there's Moose and Dennison.
Yeah, me and
Oh
Denizen. There's
yeah.
not even there's
That
not even
that
bad blood.
blood never stays bad for long though. I've
What?
noticed.
Except in Enslavia.
Yeah,
Oh
because
fuck
I have
Paul.
ties to Enslavia.
Fuck
That's
Paul.
oh yeah, Moose. You can help me with my research. That's where you started, right? Unslavia and
Oh, now you're gonna
Talcott.
write a biography for me?
I'm trying. No, I'm trying to map out the Panelverse, and Paul Enslaved was like one of the core little.
Okay, so check this out. 3 years ago, I was watching Gematria Effect News. Oh shit, this is some harsh weed.
Hey, hang
And
in there, Moose.
I was watching Gematria Effect News all the time, and this other channel, right now, Enter the Matrix. And I was cool with all those guys. They were doing gematria and stuff. Gematria is the something about numbers and shit. And
Yeah,
then
the
I
Hebrew
was also
letters.
watching Brian from High Impact Flicks, and I kind of knew Brian was a shill, but I didn't know that Zachary Hubbard was a total shill. And I found Paul Enslaved because I was reading a book called Sovereignty. The mind, I think it's called The Minds and Hearts of Men. It's by a guy named Ryan Mickler. He's the guy who runs Order
Oh,
of Man.
Order Man. Yeah, I get his
Yeah.
emails.
So this is how I met Paul because I typed in sovereignty into YouTube, and it said something about sovereign citizen on Brian High Impact Flicks' channel. And since I was subscribed to him, I said, why don't I watch that and see what that's about? And I watched it, and I was like, wow, okay, this guy's like, fuck the police. He's like, stand up for individual rights and freedom. He's like, these things, he's trying to point out things that, where the law is not necessarily the law. Like mandates are not laws. Mandates are different than laws. Most people don't know that. They think that a mandate is something that you have to follow. It's not. It's different. A mandate is an order. A law is a law. They're two different things. And I'm not an expert on that shit. So, anyways, I go over to Paul's channel and I'm laughing and I'm having a good time. I'm listening to his shit and his rap. And I see his StreamYard link. And the first time I went up on his panel, I was kind of nervous, man. I don't like public speaking, and so I challenged myself to try to become, hit the StreamYard link and try to do that. And I actually broke through my nervousness, and now I don't give a fuck what people think, And so I broke through that, and we had some fun, man. I eventually grew to be like his right hand man. I'd show up every day because I was running the hotel, and I can fold laundry and check people in between him talking. Like he runs the
Funny.
broadcast. He talks he can talk for hours and hours, right? And then all
See.
of a sudden I jump in and I say something funny real quick, you know what I mean? And so that was our dynamic, and people would come up on the panel and they would always want something from Paul. And this is why I respected them, because they would always come around and want to like get some shine on their channels. They'd want to get people over to their channel, buying their products, doing whatever they were into. They would go to Paul's channel to try to get other people to go to their stuff. So I started becoming the cutthroat guy who would bring people to Paul's channel to get whacked down at the knees. So I went and I got Zachary Hubbard. This was one of my greatest accomplishments. I brought Zachary Hubbard over to the channel, and he got 100% demolished. Like, demolished. That fucking demon Zachary Hubbard, he got
I don't
demolished
even know
again
who
last
that
night,
is.
too. It's great, dude. It was amazing. I'll have to find the video, maybe send it to you. And I'm sitting there just shocked, dude, because I brought Zachary Hubbard over there, not intention. Like I intentionally knew he was gonna have to go through the gauntlet, but I didn't know it was gonna be like that. And so from there on, I was hanging out there, and then we went through a cycle of cast members. Brian O'Shea, Lou Bass, Timmy, who's still there. We had a guy who would talk forever, and he didn't realize that his microphone was off, and that guy was fucking funny. His microphone would be off for like 10 hours straight, and he'd just be sitting there talking to the camera or
No
reading a
one
book
tell
or
him
something.
anything?
Well, eventually it became the shtick.
Oh.
At first it was like nobody would tell him, right? And then all of a sudden he realized, and he just kept doing it anyways, because he's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do me if you can't hear me or whatever. And then out of nowhere, Jack Talcott comes around. And when Jack Talcott came around for the first time, I really picked on him really hard because he was using like lines from the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High and stuff. He really sounded like that stoner dude. Like, hey guys, what's up, brothers and sisters? Like he actually was full on. Like he did the whole accent, everything. And so 6 months of me shitting on him for it, and everybody else starts shitting on him for it, and then he lost that. He totally just got rid of it, and he started being Jack, the guru, the man with the plan.
He changed his whole
And
personality?
yeah, yeah, he changed his whole personality based
Wow.
on over the last 3 years. He's actually, in my opinion, he's improved a lot. He's starting to stand on his own more, and he's starting to like do his own thing without worrying about what other people are thinking. But he's still like he wants to be the guy that helps you run the mile, but he hasn't ran the mile. So for someone to believe in him, it's going to take an act of God to like make that happen. He's definitely finding. He's looking for someone to coach. He's looking for a success story. He's looking for somebody to help build his brand. Live without fear, love without fear. Without that other thing too. But yeah, so that's basically it. And so after that, Talcott had been. It was basically a daily thing where Talcott would say, "Fuck you, I'm never coming back," and then the next day he would come back. And so it's just been that thing.
And it's
Like
still going on. This was 3 years?
still to this day. Still to this day. When I became his producer, I actually put a hard line. I said, dude, you need to drop Paul. And Paul got really fucking pissed at that. He's like, I helped create Jack. Don't fuck with that.
God, he helped create Jack.
He really did, though. Like Jack's channel was like it was basically 10 viewers and It was a laughing stock. And then all of a sudden, Paul brings all his people over there, and it challenges Jack to get better because those guys talk shit to him every time. So it's like you either get better or you're just gonna get shit on every day. So here we are now, the new improved Jack Talcott, the man who's gonna save the
What's
world.
the improved part? Because I still see the same
Bro,
cycle with Paul. And,
his fucking veins in his head would pop out. He used to get so fucking heated that like if you were
oh,
standing
what?
in front of him, I don't know if like he could stop himself from choking you out. Like
Dang. So,
heated, bro, heated. So, I mean,
okay,
I don't
that
know. The improvement is his articulation and his ability to not get so mad so quick.
yeah, he's I've said that about him many times. His emotional recovery is that's why I do think he could make a helpful life coach because he has that skill. He demonstrates it over and over. How to
Yeah, but he can
recover
do a
from
lot of things to
those
get more money.
emotions.
He can do a lot of things to get more money with those skills, though. And I will keep reminding him that.
Okay, well that helps. I did not know the details of the Paul Unslavia
Yeah.
drama.
In fact, I spent time as Paul's psychic too. But when I was there, I was just finding Officer Snaps and just demolishing
And then
him.
Tommy's tied. Illuma Tommy got tied
Yeah,
into this somehow too.
Illumitami was there before Jack. Illumitami was there before Jack, and Illumitami was used as the whipping boy, and like he was always the like speedhead, crackhead. We'd always call him the crackhead and shit like
Oh
that.
yeah, the meth.
Yeah, well, I
What?
mean that's when all the stories first came about. You gotta understand, Jeff. This is how we meet people. There we go.
Thank you,
Awesome
Vinny.
fans.
Oh, I keep forgetting to look at the stickers because they don't show up on StreetCard. Let me go see them.
Thank you for the $2 donation. If you
Absolutely.
want, I should make people pay for this fucking shit. If you guys want to continue hearing this story, go ahead and pay. If you
I
don't
want to
want to hear the
continue it.
story, go ahead and pay. All right, $2.99 to hear it or not hear it. $2.99. Can we get a
I'm paying
$2.99?
6. I want the director's cut. I'm paying 6.
I'll give you the director's cut. I'll even let you write the book. All right, so ask me more questions. Keep going.
Oh my God, y'all are.
Woo!
Let me
That's what
put
I'm
the money
talking
in first.
I'm a big grifter. Big grifter.
I've never
spending
grifted before. This is
cheese.
y'all make it so like
This is what I did for Paul.
easy.
Every
and-
single day. I
and
would have
positive.
I'd have people buying memberships. I would buy memberships for the crowd, and Paul would send me money for it.
Wow. No, I'm not used to that. I've been streaming for years, and I'm not used to this happening.
Why do you think I tell you you won't understand it? Just follow my lead. This is a dance, bro.
It's
It-
hard. I have to submit. I have to let someone else lead. You know that's hard for me.
It's a dance.
But
You're
you're like, hey, the results are speaking for themselves. So I'm gonna sit back,
Oh,
take a back seat.
yeah. Tell
okay.
me about Officer Snaps. He predated everyone, I think, there.
Did he?
Did he? I
Okay,
don't know.
so Officer Snaps, like, he's such an unimportant part of the journey of Unslavia that, like, I can't remember when he entered the picture, but it must have been around the De Laguna saga. So we had this harlot come on,
Is that Laura
Lauren De
De
Laguna.
Laguna?
Yeah, Lauren De Laguna. Yeah,
Yeah,
she,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. I know her.
yeah, she's got a nice pair of tits. They're small, but you know, the
She's
first
been
time she came up on the panel, she decided to wear like the sluttiest outfit she could possibly wear. And I'm just telling you guys, like, you could tell when a woman dresses slutty or a woman dresses classy. She came up for attention, okay? She comes up on the panel. Immediately, I tell her she's a fucking harlot, okay? The crowd's telling her she's a demon, all that stuff. She is supposedly this law student, right? She's never read jurisprudence, okay?
she has. She's honestly a law student.
I know she's a law student, but she's a failed law student and she has never
I
read
think
American
yeah,
jurisprudence.
I think she's actually got the bar now.
Yes, he
Well,
passed the
maybe
bar.
she is. Maybe she's successful now, but we're talking 2 years ago, 3 years ago, Paul. So forgive me for my transgressions, okay?
Okay.
Wait, what was that $10 for, Jeff?
Oh, that was from Pat from the other day. He paid for some drama with Mike, but
All
it
right,
never
here's your
happened.
drama, folks. Here's your drama. So Lauren De Laguna, she came up. We basically ran her out of the building. She kept coming back. She wanted to suck daddy's dick. And so Paul kept giving her the treatment, you know. She kept coming back, acting a fool, acting like a harlot, not acting like, not being herself, not being true to, just not being a real person. She literally was playing a character, and he
Yeah,
kept
but
trying to
like,
pull it out of her.
how is that different from anybody else on here?
It
It's
doesn't
not.
matter. It's not. That's the whole point. When Paul says, "Don't you get it?" It's all a bit, man. It's all a bit. This is all entertainment. And so, anyways, Lauren went and she had an interview with Jack Talcott, and she had an interview with Aluma Tommy, and it was supposed to be this like takedown of Paul, right? And since I was Paul's right hand man, but I was getting butthurt because he was always making fun of me and my wife and telling me I'm a little bitch and pussy and all that stuff. I wasn't stoic enough to just take it and run with the show. I went to Lauren De Laguna and I messaged her and and I said, "Yo, you want to interview? I know pretty much everything. Why don't you ask me?" I always want to get a little limelight, right? I like talking sometimes, and if you like listening, why don't we do it, right? And the same night that I was gonna have the interview with Lauren, I thought about it, and I was like, "No, I like Paul," and I just didn't show up. I just didn't show up. She had this show that was produced, like she was ready to produce a show with her producer Henry, and they were like calling me and texting me, "Where are you at, Moose? Where are you at?" I said, "Nah, I'm cool. I'm cool. I don't want the smoke. I'm cool." So
Well,
I did leave her hanging, and it was wrong. Paul, go ahead. Go
well,
ahead.
2 years ago, she used to appear on a panel called Vegas Valley.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
She
another
yeah.
used to,
part of the panel.
yeah,
That's another drama sector I need to map out.
she used to appear on that hell of a lot, and she used to go on Hand Bananas channel.
Yeah, see, she's a demon. Hand Bananas, as far as I was told, he talks to the children sexually online, and I would never
Yeah,
associate with someone like
I
Yeah,
that.
used
I don't
I used to
associate it.
go in his I used to go in his channel. I've stopped going there now. I'm totally scunnered with all that type of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
So the Lauren De Laguna saga, though, it was that was pretty much it right there. Like I dropped the ball for her, and everybody was cheering me on. Everybody was so happy about it. Unslave you. They welcomed me back with open arms, and then I really broke bad. I broke bad 2 years ago around Christmas time. I started my own broadcast, and I started my own live panel, and I think I busted out with like a 48-hour stream, like
You
straight
didn't
out the
you didn't
gate.
get Daddy's permission first? You know he already hates having any other panels without permission.
Well, the thing is I wasn't man enough to stick up for what I know is true and right, right? And I consider you consider him a pussy. I consider him a friend. He's helped me grow in so many ways that you guys might not understand, but I respect the fact that I've grown, and uh, I should have stood up to the people that were coming on my panel talking shit about him. Just because if somebody's not there, it's not a conversation. It's just a bitch session at that point. It's just slander. It's just defamation. All that bullshit. But if he was there, then go ahead, Hank. Like the other day when I removed you, or yesterday, I just wanted to hear the conversation that he was gonna say, and he was gonna talk for hours anyways. And I was like, me and you can come back to this later, Hank. We can get back to fighting with him later. But this is like content on my channel where he's not yelling at somebody. I said, fuck yeah, I'm taking it. I'm gonna take it, Hank. I'm gonna take it. So I took it, and
I just let
I
you
just
have it. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what Brent said. Oh, I just agreed to everything you said. So I knew what you were doing.
Yeah, and I appreciate you. And it's just about just standing up for what I believe is right and like holding boundaries with people. Like when Denizen, I left my stream with like 20, 30 people in it, and I woke up and there was two people in it, and he's grifting to the only two people that have been watching the stream for. And this is true. Paul pointed out too. He was grifting to the same fucking people for 10 hours straight. Like, you got three people in the crowd. You're not entertaining at all. You're not providing any value for anyone. You're not even making a fucking laugh at this point. And you want them to give you money? Like, how many times is Chuck going to be in the crowd and be like, "Here, I got you money," you know? Like, it's like, come on, man. You can't expect Chuck to fucking bankroll your operation. Chuck's not your daddy, you know?
Chuck
And
does
so,
plenty.
Well, he was hoping that Paul would come in with all his money, all his riches, and bankroll it. That's what we were hoping for.
and I could have helped. I could have helped him, right? I went to jujitsu and I said, "Hey, I'm going to jujitsu real fast. I'll be back and I'll sell some of my artwork. I have tons of photographs. I used to sell my photography in my hotel. I used to sell hundreds of dollars of my photography monthly. You know, people would come in, they'd be like, "Oh my God, that's a great sunrise photo. Oh, $100, $50, $20, whatever." You know, and Denizen just ignored me. I said, "Okay." And then I looked, and he had deleted the stream that we were on. That good stream that we had. He fucking deleted it. So that was the line for me. That was the line. Not only are you gonna sit there and talk shit about my stream, run every single follower that I had out, lose me subscribers, and then tell everybody on the stream that you don't give a shit about my channel or about me or whatever. And
He
then you're gonna worry about me shutting you down from your own stream? Like, you gotta be really fucking stupid to be gaslit by that shit. Anyways, so I
Well,
broke bad, and then Paul came after me pretty hard.
for
He
just
didn't.
starting your own channel, that was your big crime.
yep.
Oh no, for facilitating conversations that were talking bad about him, and I understand
Oh.
why. Well, you know, how would you feel if I had a bunch of people talking shit about you?
I did.
Oh,
I went on your channel the couple of times and I heard people talk about me and I threw a fit.
Well, I mean, most of it's if
I
it's
get off of
joking,
that.
it's cool, but if it's like serious shit, it's fucked up.
It
I
was
So
get off
I,
of
serious.
you
that.
know,
It
You
was
I
know,
stuff I didn't know. They didn't say to my face. I didn't know any. They were thinking any of this, and then
I
I go hear it on this other panel.
well, yeah. Here's the difference. I assume people are cowards, so I get off to that. I like hearing. Go ahead and make an insult. So that'd be hilarious to see how
well,
much you know, how much research you did.
it was fun for a while, right? But everybody knows who I am. So he shows my business, and he showed my wife and my daughter, and he showed the number, and said, "Hey, why don't you go visit Moose?" And blah blah blah
Who
blah
Paul
blah.
did this?
Yeah, I mean, but like, this is all part of war. All's fair in love and war, brother. And so that happened, and I was like, you know what? I'm not cut out for this shit. Like, I'm weak. I don't want this shit in my life. I don't want this kind of drama. I just deleted my channel. So I had enough subscribers and I had enough watch hours to monetize my channel 2 years ago, and then I quit. And I just started helping other people do it because I didn't want I didn't believe in myself enough. I didn't believe I could do it. I always just said, you know what? Fuck it. It's easier to help Jack grow his channel. It's easier to get OTW to grow his channel. I've already helped 3 or 4 channels get monetized. You know,
You helped this
whether or
one.
not. Thank you, thank you. But that's the story, man. Now here we are,
Well,
and
but you have a. Do you want to do something with the channel? Because it seems like you're doing
I am.
some
I took it
pretty
back
good
over.
stuff.
I manned up, and I'm gonna be, you know, talking about whatever we talk about over there. Like, and it's gonna be highly offensive, but it's entertainment. And so if you can't handle the heat, don't come over to the kitchen over there. But know that you're always welcome. And if something bothers you, you have to say it, because I say a lot of stuff. I could say the worst things that come out of my mouth, and I can walk away and I can go to sleep and be like, well, you know, it was just a joke. Because at the end of the day, don't you get it?
I don't know if everybody does get it though. I don't know if I always get it.
I
But you
usually do.
will.
Because it
You
can't
will
all
get it
be. You
though.
can't. Here, my challenge is that you can't have production and community in the same space at the same time, because production is almost the opposite of genuine community. And I think
Yeah,
after a while that's going to frustrate people's desire for community.
I hope it does. I hope it does
Why?
frustrate them over there. You know why? Because I don't want pussy ass little bitches around me.
I
So
hear
don't you
that.
get it? Like I
Yes.
want strong people. I want people who can take it. If I call you a fucking name and you keel over and cry, like you are
But
way too
is
weak
that
for me.
because you lack some strength in yourself as well? Like you've even alluded
Yeah.
to that today.
Yeah. It's fine. Straight iron sharpens iron. So
Iron
Like
of
the
sharpens
course.
people
iron.
that most need the strength inside themselves are the ones that want the strong people around.
Or you
No,
just
not
need
at
more.
all. No,
No.
if you're surrounded by weak people, now imagine this, okay? You're surrounded by four nerds and you walk into a bar. What do you think's gonna happen? People are gonna look at you like a bunch of clowns. Nobody, no woman's gonna come walk up to you, sit next to you, ask you, you know, about your day. None of that shit. It's status. It's
It's
power.
it's a straight
Um,
thing. I keep
I
it's yeah.
used I used to run a pub, and my pub was a pretty tough pub, and I've seen people look like nerds, and they know how to handle their business, and they know how when to keep out of other people's business too.
You can be a nerd and you can pull hose. Okay, I've been a geek my whole life, and I've done it. It's there's a certain. Have you been to America, Paul?
No, I haven't. No, I
Have you
haven't
had
in my
There,
American
time.
Coke?
it's
Yes,
not
I
like
have.
other places. There's
I've tried.
weak ass people here. People who couldn't run a half a mile. People who couldn't pick up 25 fucking pounds. Like there are weak fucking men here. Like
I think
weak
that
men.
I think that's every country. There's people like that in every country.
Yeah, but do you want to be surrounded by them? You're not gonna walk into, dude. I've walked into fucking places where it's $200 a plate. I'm not walking in there with a couple fucking weak ass bitches. I'm gonna walk in there with my best people. I'm gonna walk in there with people that I could do business with, that I could talk great ideas with, that I can move to the next level with. The people that are on online, most of them are a fucking joke. Most of them are here online because they're trying to escape their shitty lives. Most of them aren't on here making their own channels and monetizing their own thing and like trying to create. They're just sitting here talking shit to the people who are.
There is
Like,
again, yeah. There's people like that over here that do that too. That's just part of the YouTube world.
and that's fine. I'm all about it, man. But like, do you really want weak people around you? Like the five people that you surround yourself with all the time is going to be the people that you act like, the people that you start resonating with, the people that start like it will either make or break you, man.
I don't,
Successful people hang out with successful people.
well,
Who
Millionaires.
are your five people, Paul?
my five people. I don't really have five people anymore. I used to you go around. Used to drinking with my own little group, but since I got older, I prefer staying in, and I've just got like one really good mate to hang around with. And I'm
Do
for that.
YouTube people count?
Nope, not for
Um,
me.
no,
Not for
no, because they sort of do, but they sort of don't. I treat my YouTube life different to my real life.
actually
It
no. I
is
take
mine
that
is
back.
my
No,
real life.
I got to backtrack. YouTube people are because if you see me in other panels, you'll see how I act.
But
But
I have a thing called the pub theory. So I go around people who, if I met in real life, I'd have a drink with them. I'd go up and have a drink with them, go up to a bar, and if they're in the bar, I'd go and say, all right, there's other people I'd just stay well clear of because I wouldn't like to do that with them.
And it's just like your
exactly
gut intuition.
Yeah, so that, and how they talk to you and how they interact with you, too.
how they shake your hand. What's up, Mike?
Yeah.
Salute, salute. What's
Hey,
up?
Mike.
What's going on?
Hello.
Happy
You know,
Friday.
happy Friday.
That's it,
And
Getting
hey,
man.
a lot out
I'm gonna
today.
tell you my five people first before we move on. My five because I'm a lone wolf. So my five people are Les Brown, Myron Golden, David Goggins, Andrew Tate, and Ryan Mickler.
But are those people you spend your time with? or just people you admire?
if you listen to their information on a daily basis, like I start my day off with Les Brown or Myron Golden or Ryan Mickler. If you start your day off every single day and you're listening to things that inspire you, things that can help you grow, things that can help you learn, something to practice throughout your day, is that not one of your five? If you're not hanging out with five actual people ever, is that not one of your five? It's
Yeah, it
going
I
in
mean,
does
your
I
count.
get.
brain.
I think, yeah. I
Yes,
think
it
the
counts.
ideal is five actual people because you need that
No.
intersubjective exchange to get the full benefit. But absent that, I think the parasocial type that you're talking about is could substitute. But I don't think it's the ideal. Like it's to have five people that there's this reciprocity between.
Of course, and that's why I said at first no. People on YouTube I don't agree with that. But then I backtracked because I don't really have five people that I
I
resonate
know
with
I don't
in
either.
person.
That's I'm kind of
I have
that
I have
is one of
one
the
or two.
challenge of lone wolves. Like it's hard for us to find five people as a lone wolf.
And when it comes to like strong, good-hearted, educational people, I probably me like two people. I mean, I
Like
have
in your
friends, but
life or people that you follow.
no, I'm saying like in real life, like
Oh,
two
okay.
people that, yeah. But like inspirational, you said David Goggins. David Goggins is a beast. Oh my God, you got to see David Goggins' story, Jeff. He was 300. He was 300 pounds. He slimmed down. He joined.
Is
He
he
became a
that
Navy.
black guy?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
I used to follow him, or maybe I still do.
he was a Navy SEAL. I mean, and then he just never quit, keep going. Attitude. Very inspirational.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
he
I,
didn't
Dude,
say is that as a child he was a sports ballist as a child, so he was in the game, then took a break and went back in.
Yeah,
So
he's a
effectively
self-made man.
repeating his
bro, his first
accomplishments.
marathon, he ran 100 miles on a broken foot. His first marathon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
wow.
well. The 100 miles isn't a. It's an ultra marathon, not a marathon. Marathon's always 23 miles. So
You got to see Goggins on Joe Rogan's podcast. Wow, what a great interview.
Bro, I read his book.
Yeah, it's good.
but Mike doesn't read.
No, I got books everywhere.
Oh, you do?
This is my favorite book. The Art of
Oh,
War.
let me get my favorite book.
And I know
I didn't see it. What was it,
Which
Mike?
book was that?
the Art of War. The Art of War.
Sun Tzu,
Oh, I
the
also
Art
Sun
of
have
Tzu.
War.
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
not the Bible.
and then this is a
The
great
Going
book
to
by Annie
War with Jesus.
Jacobson. She's a UFOologist. It's Area 51 by Annie Jacobson. This is a great book, man. It's a big book too. It's thick. I read them both.
Well, this
I
is
like
my
some,
favorite book. My favorite book of the Bible is Isaiah, though.
What's that one?
This one's Wolves Radicals, and my favorite book of the Bible is Isaiah.
Oh, okay.
I'm currently reading The Dark Continent by Mark Mauser and The Graves Are Walking, which is about the Irish famine.
Yeah, that was some tragedy, man.
Yeah, was it more? People think it was a genocide, but it was more economic and more capitalist famine than it was anything else.
The Irish always had it hard. They never had it easy, especially battling England and going back and forth and Belfast. Some movies about Belfast and
It's
fighting.
not England. It's still not England. It's called Britain.
Britain.
It was Britain there. Again, the creation of Northern Ireland saved millions of Irish people's lives. There was, if Britain used all of its forces just after World War One, Ireland would have been decimated because Britain had the biggest navy in the world, and it probably had the biggest air force in the world at the time too.
Yeah, probably. The RAF is no joke, man. It's no joke at all.
It was invented in from the Royal Flying Corps. And there was another group. There was the Royal Navy flying, and they made it in 1918. Amalgamated it into the RAF, and which is the world's first professional air force.
Yeah. They had a NATO parade. This is a couple of years back down in Norfolk, and they had all the different pilots, from the European. It's a NATO thing, so it's a lot of European come over, and I got to meet RFA pilots. I got to meet French pilots. Sorry, I have a toothache. Yeah, but you got to meet pilots from all over the world. It was cool. It was really cool.
When the Farnborough Air Show was on, I've been to that a couple of times, and you get to meet people from all over too.
I'd love to go to London. I mean, I know it's a little rough now, with everything going on, but
Any city's rough now.
Hey, Mike.
I have a thing for that. A dental repair kit. You can get this for $50 on Amazon. Totally.
Dude, that is pretty cool. That's cool, Hank. Mike, have you ever heard anything about Alaska?
what about it?
Well, because my actual biological father hit me up yesterday, and he was telling me that he really wants to take me on this crazy ass fishing trip where you take like a helicopter and a fucking guide, and I don't know, man. I was just wondering if you heard anything about Alaska, because I don't know. I don't know if I want to be out in the middle of nowhere.
There was a show called Alaska State Troopers. Did you ever see that? It was like an A&E show, and they would, but they showed that Alaska has so many remote islands, and they have to take a little Cessna from island to island. So yeah, you're right. It's very remote. There's, I think, Anchorage. There's, like cities, like you'd normally see a city, but there's parts of Alaska that are so remote you can only get them by plane.
It's the quickest route to Russia.
Man, Sarah Palin, dude, she would have won just out of looks if she would have just kept her mouth shut.
Story of the land bridge in Alaska where you could just walk into Russia. It's washed away now, but back, I think maybe, I don't know exactly. No. You could walk across it, but it washed away. But there was a part of Alaska that's so close, it was a little land bridge, and it washed away. Look it up.
Yeah, that's how they think the Native Americans came over.
They believe it was a theory.
I don't know.
Theory of the Bering Land Bridge theory.
Yeah, that's it, the Bering.
They said that, you can hike across.
I don't think that's correct, but again, we don't really know. Again, it's a theory. So they haven't proved the theory right, or they haven't proved the theory wrong yet.
Yeah. Oh, did you see? They found I can't remember what it's called, but they found a huge prehistoric skull in is it Iowa? It's Iowa. Prehistoric skull found. I think it was Iowa.
Well, we'll be probably right.
Iowa. Archaeologist discovers 13,600-year-old prehistoric mastodon skull in Iowa.
Damn.
And also, if you go to England, they've got a thing called the Jurassic Coast where you can dig up fossilized woods and fossils and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. They do some stuff like that, like in the like upstate Virginia, where a lot of the Indians were, and they'd still find like little arrow tips. They still find it. You can still find relics. They're still out there.
Well,
like
you have people finding pots of gold coins in farmers' fields and finding gold rings, and there's Roman villas still being found. And
as well as like the metal detector.
Yeah, as well as German World War II bombs still being found in Britain too.
Yeah.
The unexploded things.
Hey, guy, we're back. Right back.
Nothing's going on right now.
Well, you can continue the story if you want. You can ask questions.
I was thinking about your 5 people thing, and it's not like you can just go there's not a like place you can go and just grab 5 people and say, I'll take these 5. They kind
Right.
of
You don't.
come into your life when they come into your life, and you have to find. They take time to find. And I don't have my 5 either. I don't know
I
if I
they
ever
they
will.
changed. They changed that. Like it's a fluid thing. Like
Uh huh.
when I
They
worked
do.
for the when I worked for the collective, it was the two owners, and then uh my brother. You know what I mean. And it changed from there. Oh yeah.
Thank you again, Vinny. Oh wow. Oh yeah. Look, you get a fist pump from Moose. Yeah, it does. It does. Well, like, would you consider your wife one of them?
No,
No. Or
not
like
at all.
family?
My
Is there
brother.
family in your
My
area?
brother, but only because I worked with him 7 days a week, 6 days a week, 5 days a week, 12 hours a day, whatever. I worked with him for a long time, for 2 years.
A little
Well,
interrupter, a little visitor.
who is in your life right now, in your area? Do you have friends or family?
No, the owner of the business I work at right now, and then his main manager, and then the owner's son would probably be my three right now, because they're all like super hard workers. They're all like no bullshit kind of people, and they're all about individual rights and freedom, and they leave me alone.
Is that
And
Baby
when I mean
Moose?
leave me alone, it's just yeah, that's the mini one. We're about to go get some ice cream.
Wow.
Yeah, we got this maple soft serve. Oh, he's gonna want to hear this. Maple vanilla swirl soft serve, and then you put it in a chocolate dipped cone. Little sprinkles on the outside. Delicious.
Oh
I
wow.
remember
She's
taking
gonna
my
like that.
nieces out to London and we went to see the Shrek 2. And then I said, "Let's get. Do you want some ice cream?" And they said yes. And I said, "Which one?" And they pointed, and there's a Haagen-Dazs ice cream parlor. And I spent. This is back in the early 2000s, and I must have spent like £18 on an ice cream for only them to waste it.
How many were there? How many?
There was only two of them.
And yourself too, or just them?
Yeah, myself. Yeah, they ordered the
Yeah.
best ice creams for themselves, and I ordered the little ones for me, and they just wasted the entire lot. I'm like, Dad, I
But they
spent
didn't
80.
like
Oh
it.
no, you got to
Yeah,
do it differently. You got to order it for yourself and then share with the child.
well, there was a story. I was trying to cheer him up there. My yo- my
Oh,
young my younger nephew was going into hospital for heart surgery, major heart surgery.
So you
So
tried
I
to
was,
do something nice.
yeah, I
yeah,
tried to get it together.
yeah, you were doing something nice, man. Is he all right? They all right?
Yeah, he's all right now. Yeah, he's through it now. He's grown up to be a fine boy. But when they were younger, of course, took my two nieces out just to get them out of the house and give them a nice memory.
Hmm.
Hey, I got to run. I got to take care of something. I got to go run an errand, but I'll try to come back if you're still on. I'll see
Okay.
you guys.
If
All right.
not, I'll probably be
Thanks,
back
Mike.
out later. Take care.
Okay, not a problem. I got to take care. I got to go. I got to help a friend out. I got to run. I'll talk to you guys later. Salute.
Peace.
Right. Yeah, so I was just trying to create a nice memory for them, and they chose the ice cream, and they wasted the entire bloody
And
lot.
created a bad memory for you.
Yeah, created a bad. They enjoyed it though.
But that's why when you give something, you should give without expectation. Because when you give with expectation, oftentimes you're going to be let down. You're going to have that's exactly why you have those hurt feelings. Because it's like, damn, it's
It
like
was
you were
just
trying to do something so nice.
no. I just make a joke of it. I knew what their kids are like. It was just give, and I always brought them. It was like just to make them have a good memory.
Hey, I
Yeah.
have memories like that too, where I gave with even like the littlest expectation that somebody was going to like the gift and they didn't, and it just ate me up inside. You know what I mean? So it's like even the littlest thing like that could have done it. For me at least. And that's why now when I give something, I oftentimes don't want to like look back at it. I don't, you know what I mean? If I gave somebody a car, I would probably never want to see that car again. I don't want to see how they're treating that car. I don't want to see if it's messy. I don't want to see if it's clean. You know what I mean? I don't want to
Yeah.
have that in my mind. I just want to give something away, and then that's that. It's gone.
Yeah, well, they did enjoy the day. They had ice cream, they had dinner, and they got to see Shrek too in a big London cinema.
A
Man,
movie
Shrek 2 was
or
a
a
good
musical?
movie.
Oh, brilliant movie. I love the Shrek movies. I
Back
really do.
before everything was turned woke and
They
Yeah.
haven't had woke Shrek yet.
Have you ever seen
What
the
would
re-
that be? Like a swamp ogre going into civilization? Like, how could you make that like is a supportive of minorities or something? Like, would Farquaad be the good guy? Like this tiny oppressed guy gets the girl? Like, how do you even make that woke?
I don't know.
I don't know. That'd be some
Discussion.
weird parallel shit, wouldn't it?
Maybe that's what they should reboot. Instead of like
hey,
rebooting all
a
these
big
classic
shout out to
like princess fairy
OTW
tales,
News.
just reboot like Toy Story and Shrek and make them woke.
They could make the toys in Toy Story the enemies when they chained that bear up to that big lorry, couldn't they?
That's yeah. They could also, just maybe have some more dinosaur representation. I mean, just having a single T-Rex, that's kind of oppressive. What about all the other dinosaurs?
That's very true. They could make Star Wars turn that around, make Darth Vader into the oppressed one.
He's just
Well, he is
misunderstood,
black.
but he's a male too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but it
that's
is
not gonna
black,
work.
so that
But he is
cancels
black.
each other out.
Yeah, yeah. And James L. Jones does the voice of him.
Hmm. So why is he the oppressor? Something's not adding up here.
Actually, he was. If you follow the Star Wars story all the way through, if you study the nuances in it, he was the oppressed one. It was the emperors who oppressed him. Who, what's the word
He's the
I'm looking
child of
for?
abuse.
Yeah, he
There's your
was.
woke right there. He got caught up in the system. He's misunderstood. He's not a bad guy. He's just the child of abuse and trauma, and he needs our love and compassion and understanding.
Then he
And
killed
he's a
some.
mass murderer, but you can skip over that.
Yeah, skip over that. He went and destroyed planet just for shits
But
and
y'all,
giggles.
that's the misunderstanding. Y'all are not understanding.
Yeah,
And his
like a
his
planet.
trauma.
Yeah, he destroyed the planet with
Y'all are
billions
trying
of
to make
people
him
on it.
seem like a
Okay,
bad guy.
let's
and
put it
he's
like
not.
this. You know, we don't care, and the woke people don't care
That's your
about
bias.
non-humans. Like Darth Vader genociding a bunch of Ewoks or whatever. That's fine. The Genosians, they don't have any feelings. They don't have a soul. They're not humans, so they can't be equal. That you can't oppress creatures. Okay, PETA maybe. Actually, what would PETA be in space? Like, please don't oppress this carnivorous mass murderer.
I think Robot Chicken do a brilliant thing of Star Wars.
Oh,
If you ever
yeah.
seen Robot Chicken, but it's true. If you could turn any movie into woke, couldn't you? If
Yeah,
you think about it.
I feel like I feel like they will at some point.
Hmm.
Just like
Like,
they colorized everything, they're gonna wokerize.
oh yeah, you can change Braveheart into a woman with just angry PMT.
Why does it have to be a woman? What
I
what
don't
is
know.
even a
I'm just
woman?
saying.
You're trying to box them into a gender role already from the beginning.
I
Well,
saw a funny meme though.
That's not
We
very
can-
brave.
I saw a very funny meme because it was like talking about Disney films and how you would turn them woke, and then it was a comment like, "We can be safe and assured that the only movie that will never turn woke is Tarzan because they don't have the balls to make a jungle-dwelling gorilla man and black."
Tar trans. I
okay,
think they need to do it. Like, why can't Caitlyn Jenner be the next Tarzan?
they can never remake Roots into a woke movie. If you've seen Roots,
Is that
Yeah,
one
it used to come on
caveman?
TV growing up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where LeVar Burton got started.
yeah, it's about the Atlantic slave trade. and they got caught up, and you've got characters like Chicken George and
Well,
stuff like
that's
that.
kind of woke to begin with. They just have to
It wasn't woke. It was
like
actually
pump up
telling,
the
yeah, it was
woke
telling the tale
elements in
from
it.
the
The
book, wasn't
slavery,
it?
the oppression.
I don't think that's woke. I think that's telling the story. I think woke is
No, it's
making.
about how oppressed people are relative to others, especially if
But I
you're a
mean,
minority.
if
Yeah,
they
but that
actually are oppressed, then I wouldn't really, you know, maybe you can call it woke or not, but like then it's just a good movie. I mean, if I'm going to term something woke, it's usually in a negative light where they are dishonest to the
Well, I
original
think what
material.
makes it woke is that they're trying to say that that is the reality of today. So it's an example of what they're saying still persists today.
I just always thought they're telling a tale from history. I don't think it was woke. I just thought it was just
Yeah.
Well, it's
a
only woke when you
historical
act
tale.
as though we're still living in those times. So to be a
Hmm.
woke movie, they would just have to play it and say, "Look how horrible white people are to black people. This is still happening today."
Yeah, or they can change it into see how black people are changed into Africa or Asia or the Middle East, not necessarily the West.
With roots.
Yeah, you could do the Indian slave trade in the Indian Ocean slave trade, where people from the Middle East used to take black people from Africa,
Yeah.
chop their manhood off, so they couldn't reproduce, and make them work for them.
Dang.
And
Well, the
that was
woke would like that
yeah, and that was before the
if you
Atlantic
woke
slave
like that.
trade.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what the Ottomans did too,
Yeah,
Transient
just
slaves.
kidnap these boys and make them our top soldiers, the
yeah,
Janissaries. Just all these Serbs and Bulgars, they don't deserve to have any family. Let's just kidnap them and make them our soldiers. Or
and
China with
you've got the Barbary
Yanukovych.
slaves too. The Barbary slaves taking slaves from the southern Europe and into bits of England too.
Yeah. Oh, even further, like there was a specific event in like the 1500s where a Ottoman slave ship managed to get up to Iceland and raided an Icelandic village.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was a
Wow.
one-off occurrence, but like the whole idea of Turks just going through the entire Mediterranean, going up the Atlantic Wall,
Yeah,
going
passing
past
probably
Britain
going
and
through the English Channel. Wow,
Ah,
go past the coast of Ireland.
yeah. Oh, if we're gonna talk about slavery, though, us Vikings, we were really good at it. Like fun fact, 30% of the genetic material of Scandinavians is British because we took so many slaves from the Isles.
Well, that's my family. So my family, I sent off my DNA to like a professional company. I had
Yeah.
my DNA done. My DNA is Pict, then Celt, then Briton, um, and Celtic, and Celtic parsley.
What's the last one?
Begins with P, and it just means the Celtic migration into Europe. So my
Oh,
family comes from the Celtic migration into Europe. It was before the Vikings.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You are
So all my
very.
heritage and DNA is actually from Britain.
So no Viking.
No Viking. My family was Scottish.
You managed to avoid that, huh? Well, maybe
Oh
you
yeah,
would
the
have done you some
Vikings.
good,
The one that
Get
The
out
got
of the
away.
Vikings
machines.
did right about Scotland. Never go there. It's terrible weather. The people are terrible, and they speak a funny language.
Well, to be fair, they did take like most of the Isles, and Scotland did steal. I think it was Orkney from Norway. Still haven't given it back. So we had a presence there.
We'll
Although
fight you
we're more
for it.
frequent in Ireland and England, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get the biggest claymore, and you can get the biggest taunt helmet.
Yeah, sure. Although, to be fair, I'd prefer to just raid Dublin again.
Yeah, Dublin's
Actually,
quite. Yeah, Dublin is a Viking name.
yeah, I think it. Oh, and York, you know, York too.
Hey, Buster.
Hey, how's it going?
That comes from Jorvik. I don't know what
Yep.
that means though.
Have you ever seen the world's biggest copper light?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so they found it in York in this, and it's really preserved, and it's a human copper light that came from a Viking.
Oh, what?
They found out what his diet was and how bad his stomach was. It was full of worms, and he survived mostly in the diet of bread and meat. Then one day somebody smashed it.
No.
Yeah, it's a priceless artifact. It really is priceless. It's the only one in the world. But Google that copper light, Yorkshire, York, and you'll see it. And
Proper
it's a bit of like, yeah, copper light, fossilized poo.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Speaking of,
Fossilized. I thought you said copper light.
Yes, copper light. That's what it's
like,
called.
Copper
lavatory. Have you heard about that? Those English monks writing and complaining about Vikings stealing all their women because the Vikings were cleaner, like they bathed and cleaned their hair. And like all these monks are like writing to the Pope complaining, "Oh, these clean heathens are taking our ladies." I mean, just wash up, Englishmen. And I know that's not to you, but I'm sure all of the British Isles are dirty and disgusting. You know, there's a reason the Romans quit as early as they did, and why they never bothered to go more.
They never go going back because they had the barbarian invasions happening.
Also credit to Scandinavia somewhat, you know, the Goths are originally from Götaland or Gotland in Sweden, so you know.
Yeah, my friend is from there. Gothenburg, I think it's called.
Oh, that's a really pretty city.
It's amazing how all of Europe is connected by mass movements of people and mass invasions.
Oh yeah, I mean, we are a continent of murderers, migrators, and enslavers who loved moving around.
Yes, we did. We did. Britain with colonization with this empire. The French had the empire. Germany, not so much because Germany's a relatively young country.
Well, to be fair, the Germans as a people did a lot. Like they basically created the French, you know, and Spanish and Italians and Christianized the Baltics, you know. So they did a lot. But I think Britain probably is number one in that regard. Like, you know, first you got the original inhabitants, then the Celts, you know, and then the Romans follow, they leave, the Germans enter, the Scandinavians come, the Vikings, and then the Scandinavians who went to Normandy became French, then comes up into England. Like,
yeah, then the French move up to Scotland, then the French move to Wales, and they move to Ireland.
Hey, Dolbez, where are you from?
Norway. I'm
cool.
I'm
so you're like kind of near Sweden then.
Oh yeah, I'm half Swedish, so I'm
okay.
Cool.
Yeah, man. Hey, my friend in Gothenburg, he said that like there's been a lot of illegals raping women, and they only get a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the news
I think you need to change the word from rape from that R word to like use the word raping or something like that.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, Zat said it was because the Norwegian women are all whores. They're like the most whorish women in Europe.
Maybe. But like, if you just look at Europe currently, that's sort of everything you see is okay. Crime statistics go up, more rapes, more murders, and nothing is done. Like, I mean,
Germany had it bad a couple of years ago, didn't they? Because they had the New Year's Eve attacks in Germany.
Yeah, 2016 or something.
Yeah, they had it all happening in 5 major cities, and it was I can't remember. Was it over its hundreds?
A lot, at least. Where I don't, you know, I'm a bit too young to remember any of that outside of, you know, learning
Yeah,
about it after the fact.
I think it was the most hit city was Cologne.
Yeah. That it was. That, but I think proportionally, the countries worst hit are probably France and Sweden.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah, because
it's
it had the race riots in Paris, and it's also what's that Swedish city? It's not Gothenburg. It's another place.
Malmö.
That's
Malmö.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Malmo.
I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard of that too. Like, it's funny because my friend, he plays Cajun accordion, and he lives in Sweden, and he talks about the Mamal or whatever. How do you pronounce it?
Malmö.
That's where the bridge was made.
Malmö. Yeah, that bridge is called
Malmo.
Öresundbro.
The one from
Öresund.
Denmark to Sweden.
Yeah, Öresund.
But yeah, that's
Mm. Yeah, there's a lot of problems over there when they had because they it wasn't a good idea to integrate people who've had civil wars with each other.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at it from a historical perspective, the people that we are taking in, first off, we're taking a lot of them, but like, if you want to make an argument for the worst, the situationally the worst people to take in, you would pick the people that we have fought against for 1,000 years straight. Like, since the birth of our civilization, on every single corner of Europe, there has been Muslims who we have fought against and done evil against, of course. But like,
Yep.
no matter which way it goes, like that creates animosity, and I don't think that's forgotten. Like, I mean, a lot of my friends who are immigrants, they are really, proud of their liberated nations. I mean, it's not healthy
are
to
they
import people who actively hate the history of the nation they're in.
No, that is very true.
are they
Very true.
immigrants? Are they immigrants? Are they legally immigrants in your land, or is it like it's different in America? You got, well, it's not now, supposedly. Well, apparently.
You do have legal immigration, but there also some places have safe routes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Although, you know what the biggest issue for Europe is that we have animosity and created enemies on literally every single continent, so that if you just want to have immigration politics, you will take in people who will likely cause issues. Because
I think Europe's biggest problem is the actual EU Parliament.
maybe
If it wasn't for if it kept to the EEC, which is European Trading Bloc,
yeah,
it would have been so much better.
sure, but I'm not up to date on my history. But did the Schengen area, did that come like after?
Yeah, that came after. So yeah, the European the EEC was the European Common Market.
Yeah.
Right, that was the original. Before 1991 was signed with the Maastricht Treaty. That's when Spain founded the EU, and Britain joined the European Parliament in 2007 by signing the Lisbon Treaty.
Yeah, like I am in support of, mostly the economic union and 100% almost behind the Schengen area, but a lot of the forced climate positions and immigration positions are I'm not so.
I'm not in favour of the Schengen for enforcing people to take the euro. Different countries, different cultures.
Sure, I get that, but you do. It's an argument of stability over growth, though. Like, do you want maximize the general stability or individual growth /
Well, it's about the EU Parliament. If you just had, like I said, if it was just the European Common Market, there would have been free trade without introducing a Schengen zone, which has been brilliant. And you still could have done freedom of movement, and everybody had their own money, which would have been fantastic.
Okay. Well, I mean, I do like the idea of some countries sharing money. Like, I would be in support of Scandinavia having a unified krone, like a single currency. But since I don't live in an EU country, I don't know if the extent of it is good or not. Like, I don't really see why countries like Germany, France, and Italy adopted the currency because they are already so big. But I definitely see the argument for a lot of, the Yugoslav countries or Hungary and
Well, yeah, I mean,
that they,
but how can a bank in Germany tell the bank in Hungary and what to do with their money?
well, I mean, that's kind of the point. If you spread out the risk, but you also spread out the growth. If it goes horribly in Greece won't hurt as much. Like, I mean, it's a politic that hurts stable big economies, but really helps the volatile small economies, which, maybe you
But
should
the
prioritize.
smallest economy is getting the most out, and it's one of the richest economies in one of the richest economies in the world, which is Luxembourg.
Yeah.
And they take the most out of the EU. Yeah, but they're so rich too.
Don't they contribute more than they take, or why wouldn't
No.
they do that?
I don't know.
Huh.
When Britain left, Britain was like one of the in the top 5 contributors
Yeah.
to the EU.
I mean, I actually scrolled past statistics on how much each of them contributed and took.
Well,
so just scrolling up.
Yeah, I can
But-
speak about Britain's contribution at the time when we left Europe. I'm putting this into context. So people say about the royal family, each person in Britain contributes, at the time that we were in the EU, it was 75p to the royal family per person a year.
Yeah.
We were contributing £177 per person to the EU.
And how much did you get?
We actually got, okay, so way they do it is a bit weird, the economics, because we were paying 19 billion a year, but we got a rebate of 6 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got another rebate of I'm trying to think. So that it was something like 6 billion for 13. We got another rebate of 5 to 6 billion again back from the EU. So we're contributing again, round off figure, 8 or 9 billion pounds.
Are you against just in general, giving more to other countries than you're receiving?
I am no. I'm also speaking from a historian point of view. I'm actually taking a degree in history too.
Uh-huh.
I'm against the EU because Europe has a mishmash of different cultures. Germany's culture is so different to France. France's culture is so different to Spain. The only 2 countries that are almost similar would be Spain and Portugal. Italy maybe with France, because they're close on the border. But I don't think. I think it's going to be a failed project. The amount of fraud that's gone through the EU, the amount of money it costs to build the EU Parliament too. And it can't settle. It can't settle in Brussels. It's got to move in between 3 different countries. It's got to move from Belgium, France, and Germany.
Though. That's just French arrogance. No, we want to power. Have it in Strasbourg too.
Yes, exactly. It was so much better when it was European Common Market, free trade. You could have done freedom of movement without answering. You could have answered to a council, but not a parliament.
So if we agree, I think we agree that it has something like the EU in general contributes a lot to inter-European peace between European powers. How limited could such a cooperation be while still keeping that peace between European countries?
Okay, so you talk about defensive, so we'd have to bring NATO into that one.
True. But let's ignore NATO for now, because I don't know how permanent NATO would be. If we consider...
NATO's permanent right now, so we can't ignore NATO.
Yeah, but I mean, right now,
permanent right now is
permanent. If we think about in the next 20 years, I think...
Okay, I think in the next 20 years, Europe is going to need NATO for what's coming across the Eastern European border.
Do you think Russia is gonna push that hard, or do they have the capability
politically, Russia's got the ability to do anything. Everybody underestimates them. You never poke the bear.
I don't know. They seem pretty pathetic.
I'd consider a mobilized Europe a much bigger bear than Russia. I mean, if if something can force most of Western Europe to actually mobilize and use their consumer economy for military, I mean, it to me it seems like it's kind of the situation between with America and World War II, like a massive civilian consumer economy that, if provoked, would be a massive military power, but currently is very, very underfunded and very, very weak. So the
Yeah.
only way to beat it is through
But
speed.
also, you've got to look at you got to look at the old Soviet Union allies and the new allies Russia has got now.
Okay, so what about? Would you consider China an ally of Russia, or just they have common interests that make them?
They've got common
competitive?
interests, and now they're sort of allies now.
Okay, you think China is on a road to collapse? And I don't
Hell
mean
no, no.
but communist.
They've made a total. They've made themselves into a superpower.
Yeah, they own everybody.
But will that last? Like, I mean, China, for most of history, has always been a contender for the top spot in the world. Like, it's just
not in World War II. Not World War II. No, they haven't been in World War II. No, but if you ever look at it,
what I was going to ask, the last 200 years has been an anomaly. Like before that, China has always managed to be in the top spot. So I don't think it's anything new that they now are regaining that.
I think it's something new. I think because the way technology has worked, they've upped the game themselves. But has any empire lasted? If you ever look through history, how many empires have lasted?
Well, none.
Exactly.
But civilizations have lasted a long time.
Oh yeah, civilizations lasted a long time, but empires haven't.
Yeah, and that's why I specified like the communist Chinese, because I think the Chinese civilization will continue for a long time. But the current dynasty, like the communist dynasty, is that on the way out or not?
No.
Not for China at the moment.
Uh-huh.
North Korea, definitely not for North Korea neither.
True, but they are. I mean, I think. Do they have nukes capable of actually threatening the world? Because
any nuke is capable of threatening the world. A ballistic nuke is capable of threatening the world because of the automatic response.
Okay. Iran then. What do you think about Iran?
Iran, well, again, nobody knows what their true intentions are. Iran's branching out into geopolitics. They're supporting terrorist groups in the Middle East and other places. So they're not doing it directly, but it's more indirectly.
Yeah, they have a sort of cold war going on between them, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey in the Middle East.
Yeah,
I'd say, and Israel is kind of just.
And they're not. It's not a military war. They're sending out. Like the Republican Guard. There's got Republican Guard units in there, which runs independently, if I remember right, from the Iranian army itself.
Yeah.
And also they've got splinter terrorist groups operating in countries in the Middle East, which is the most dangerous thing.
Okay, which area on Earth do you think is the most likely to escalate a world war?
Okay, so all world wars have started in Europe.
True, but we haven't had that many.
We've had.
War.
Okay, so we've had the Napoleonic Wars, which is a world war.
Yeah. 7 Years' War 2.
Yeah, and also the colonialism that happened in the 1700s.
Would you call that a world war or just a sort of hot Cold War?
I would call the colonization with the Americas and the North America and the South America. I would call that a world war, but not as the world war as we know it.
Okay, isn't that just using the term world war a bit loosely?
It may be using it a bit loosely, but it's still transfigured to other parts of the world.
True. So it's sort of useful. I don't know. I think I'd cut off the definition for World War at maybe the 7 Years' War, like that, and then the Napoleonics, First World War, Second World
Well,
War, etc.
Napoleonic. Everybody forgets Napoleonics. Britain still had American units because there's a lot of American regiments that are actually still to trace their history back to the British Army.
Wait, I have a question. During the Napoleonic War, in
Yeah.
history, the War of 1812, is that like an underneath the umbrella of the Napoleonic War, or is it considered its own thing?
It's actually, you're very true. It should be considered underneath the umbrella of Napoleonic Wars, but it was its own thing too. I've had relatives fight on both sides of that war. I've had relatives fight in the Battle of New Orleans, and I probably have had relatives who fought in the Napoleonic Wars, and he was in Egypt.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot Napoleon just messed around in Egypt for a bit.
Yeah. Yep, and the British Army fought Napoleon in Egypt, and my relative got injured, and he got sent off to the Royal Chelsea Hospital.
Good for you then. Maybe that's part of why you're alive.
Oh no, I'm alive because my I don't know why I'm alive sometimes, mate. But again, the Napoleonic Wars. Then also you're talking about the third French Revolution, where you had the Bourbon Restoration, and that got taken away after the Third Revolution with Napoleon III taking over the throne, or Napoleon II and the Third, and which created the Franco and Prussian War.
Yeah. And well, do you think, like, for the most part, the Franco-Prussian War, I would say, is mainly, should be attributed to Bismarck and his absolute genius in politicking, like setting up everything. Like, didn't he do it on like the French National Day or something? Like,
to be honest, I don't know much about the Franco-Prussian War. I just
Yeah,
know it was there, and it also helped to create Germany as a country.
Well, I think I read up on this because Bismarck, like he needed something to unite all the Western German kingdoms, and so I think he like insulted the French or did like angered them greatly, and he did it on the French National Day or something, and so the French attacked back, and in an absolute, I don't know, so insane based move, like after he had defeated the French, they declared the German Empire in the Palace of Versailles, which I think is that sort of poetic irony of history. I love it.
And also
the Germans
also helped to amalgamate the Prussian Empire into Germany.
Oh yeah, I mean, my ancestor actually fought in one of the wars. One of the many wars of German unification. Well, was it the Prusso-Danish War for Schleswig-Holstein?
Like, I don't know much. Again, I don't know much about that one.
Help that.
But I do know about the royal wars in Britain involving the royalists and the Jacobites. The Jacobites versus the British.
Cromwell, or is it?
Cromwell. Cromwell fought in the fought in the war with three kingdoms after the English Civil Wars.
Yeah.
Then after that came the Jacobite Rebellion, because it was to do about they wanted to introduce the Catholic King James Stuart, or Bonnie Prince Charlie, onto the throne, and he primarily used the Catholic Highlanders as his main army, with some French, Irish, and some little bits of English regiments.
French?
Yes. Yeah, they used French soldiers in the Jacobite Rebellion.
Well, makes sense. The French could use that as sort of influence, so it would be good to
and
support
France
it, I suppose.
has always been the old alliance with Scotland.
Yeah. Just it makes sense though. That's kind of what every single empire does. Like when it's faced with an opponent, they do try to find like what are the thorns in that are the nation's back, and can we ally them?
Yeah, you got if you're talking about Bonnie's Prince Charlie, some people actually say he used the Highlanders to get his own means,
Yeah.
and lots of Highlanders died. And actually, the British government actually changed laws in Scotland to stop people wearing Highland garb and talking. And the Gaelic language was suppressed, and even bagpipes were banned. They banned the bagpipes because they seen them as the only instrument that could be classified as a weapon. Because it could stir the heart and soul of any Highlander.
So they kind of
The
recognize that.
bagpipe is a weapon.
There's
Yeah.
a platform. They got canceled.
Oh shit! At first, I thought you meant like literally like
Yeah, like you could put blades in them or something.
you could
Shoot
sharpen up
darts out of
the.
them.
Like
No,
some
no, no.
where
It
you
was
shoot darts.
classified as a weapon because they said if a bagpiper was on the battlefield and played the pipes, the morale of the Scottish troops or the Highlanders would bring them up and they'd fight harder.
You could
Isn't
And
that the same thing every nation does? Like they have their own drummers and trumpeters
yeah,
to
but
make
they have
the
that.
army.
Yeah, they have that
cohesive.
too. But the judge ruled the bagpipes as the only the only instrument that was a weapon of war, and actually a Highlander was hung for playing the pipes. He didn't take part in the fighting; he just
That
took
is kind
part
of
in
funny.
playing there, and they
That's
hung him.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. Imagine like today if like playing the piano is like this is a symbol of white supremacy, even though Asians are the ones who play it the most now. But like imagine if that became like a symbol of the oppressive upper aristocratic class, and it was banned. You could be put on death row if you played the piano, especially if you played it well.
Yeah, Taylor Swift would have to go on the run.
Yeah.
But the Scottish Highlanders were treated really badly by the British government. But they fought with swords and lockburr axes against fully trained soldiers with muskets, and they done a bayoneted practice to combat the swing of the Highland sword. So they were fully trained soldiers at the end, and they got decimated at Culloden. So badly that when the wounded were left on the field, the Duke of Cumberland sent his men to bayonet them as they lay dying.
Oh. That is it's a valid but very immoral strategy.
Yeah, but people called it in English England versus Scotland. No, it wasn't. It was Britain versus Scotland, and there was Scottish troops on the British Army side, and they're fighting their own like brothers or cousins.
I mean that's kind of like at least before the modern age, and you have a loose definition of modern, but like before that, it isn't like you have these very strict and well-defined national identities. You really do, you're in Scotland, but that doesn't mean you're Scottish. Like, what the fuck even is Scottish? Like, is it Picts, Gaelics? Like, there's probably something more there. Like, what even is that?
Well, that's my thing. What you just said. I am Pict and Gaelic, and I Celt. I could trace my ancestry back to King Robert the Bruce.
Isn't Picts and Gaelics just another, like, isn't Celts just an umbrella term like Germanics?
No, see, we can have Celts, and you got Celts migrating, because Celts were all through Europe, even through Greece.
Oh yeah, actually, the funny thing, you did have a Celtic tribe migrating into the middle of Anatolia, like in the 200 BC.
Yep. And England, people don't classify England as a Celtic nation, but England was totally Celt before the Romans came in.
Oh yeah, for sure. Even after, I'd say, because like there wasn't enough Roman immigration to fully replace them. I think it's more with
how they done it is because I'm learning this in my degree. How they done it was the cities.
Yeah.
It sounds daft, but how they integrated the population of the places they was into the cities there. okay, so we'll treat you as a citizen of Rome, but you won't have the rights of a citizen of Rome, but you can have some of these rights.
Yeah.
And you can still be like Britain.
Mm-hmm.
And they integrate themselves and they learn to become Roman.
They were Celts before.
Yeah. So they use the cities there. So how the Roman cities were built, they built the most important buildings in the center. Then they had to have the artisanal and shops on the outer circle of the city. Then from there, they build the industrializations on the outskirts of the city. Then they create satellite camps.
Mm-hmm.
So to build other towns like Colchester, London. People think of London as the capital city of England. In Romans, it was Colchester that was the capital of the city.
That's funny because I don't even know where Colchester is on a map.
Essex.
And I consider myself pretty good at British geography.
Yeah, if you know where Essex is, that's where Colchester is.
Oh, okay.
So it's not sort of near London, but London was not the traditional capital city.
Why though? Isn't London like really well placed at River Thames? Thames? How do you say Thames?
Yeah, Thames. The Thames.
Okay.
Thames.
Okay.
But London has several more different rivers going through it too. Some of them actually underground.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, and if you go into a car park in London, they've still got part of the old Roman wall in this car park.
Wait, wasn't there also the body of like a king, like Edward or something, was discovered in like a car park?
In the car park.
Yeah, that was Richard. Yeah, that was Richard III, and he was buried in a car park in Leicester. They found him in a car park in Leicester. Yeah, just after the Battle of Bosworth Field, I think.
This is why I love like Europe. You can just have these things. Like in Norway, just a random farmer finds a massive Viking longship, like just buried in his garden. You know, just casually, and then you just find this king down here, or you'll just find these spear tips from the Stone Age. You know, it's so packed.
On my channel, there's a thing where it got stuck behind a bomb scare.
Oh.
And it was from apparently there was they said it wasn't, but there's other rumours that it was. So apparently they found a World War II bomb near a gas pipe.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, but we're still finding bombs left over World War. There's people go out in fields with metal detectors and they're finding pots of gold coins and jewelry and stuff like that, and swords.
I mean, luckily it's not as bad as France and Belgium though from World War One. Like you guys, have you seen like a satellite imagery of like a close up of that?
Yeah, I've seen the real life picture of a World War One battlefield.
Yeah, but I mean, like even to this day, 100 years later, you just see this stretch of land, which is just it's somewhat back to life, but there's just something off about it. In addition to no civilization there. No nightlife.
Places in France that are still you're not allowed to go into because the ground is covered in anthrax and gas.
Yeah, like World War One, I would say was more monumental and insane than World War Two. Like World War Two was bigger, yes, but I'd say that World War One changed more.
Well, if you read about World War One, you know Germany was planned for World War One in the 1912s and 1913s.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, every European country knew that something was going to happen.
Yep, they wrote. I think it was
Britain. Like it had to.
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying that. To me, at least, it seems that every nation was preparing for this in some way, or shape, or form, and like the naval arms race between Germany and Britain had to come to fight at some point. It's like.
Yeah, but if you read a memorandum, it's called Moltke's Memorandum of 1913. He wrote that, and he says he was talking about what would happen if war broke out. He wrote, "We would need to go through Belgium because of the line, the fortress line in France. We'd have to go through Belgium." He said, "But the only problem is we either need to do it politically or with military force. If we went through politically, which would be hardly any chance that happened, we'd have to go through force. As soon as we go through force, we'd go through to France." Then Britain would join in because they wouldn't want a German Germany holding any ports near Britain.
Yeah.
So he said then you said you'd have the Russians coming and joining in with France and doing the Entente alliance.
Do you think the German tactic was like the correct decision? Because what I figured was that Russia, they needed to take out the West quickly so they could focus on Russia. But what if they did the opposite? Like they didn't put Belgium all effort into Russia.
They did take out Russia. They made the
Yeah, but
Russians have the Russian Civil War
Yeah,
or
but
the
it took
Russian
much longer
Revolution.
than it could have. Like if they didn't, they made Belgium immediately. They didn't put as many troops there. They just went all in for Russia
Well,
from day one.
No, if they went all in for Russia day one, France would have wiped the floor of them because France had massive regiments lining up ready.
Okay, yeah.
They had
Makes sense.
regiments. They had regiments on the border, so Germany knew that they had to attack both countries.
Mm-hmm.
And they done well in Russia because you got to remember Russia's got massive manpower.
Yeah.
That is one of their greatest strengths. Is not the materials, is not anything else. And I worked with a Russian, and he said there's an old Russian proverb, and he said translated into English is if there is a problem, throw as many men into it as you can to solve it.
I mean, it worked for them in the second war at least, but not in the
Sort
first.
of. Everybody forgets this, that Germany was actually beating the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
And what made Germany down, they were far too quick for their own good.
Yeah. And to be fair, the fact that, D-Day eventually, but also the Italy campaign, and also the massive amounts of, weapons supplied to the Russians.
Well, what stopped Germany was the Battle of Britain.
Yeah, they ruined their air force.
Yeah, no, it was not ruined their air force. No. It wasn't enough to do that. It was if they would have won the Battle of Britain, they would have invaded Britain, and they probably would have conquered Britain. There's people debate me on this, but I could guess they would have conquered Britain.
Do you think that? No, they would not have been able to do that.
I guess
you got to remember how weak Britain was after the Battle of Dunkirk.
Sure, but you'd already.
And
Britain was more.
Yeah, Britain fought in Norway to help the Norwegians, and they got defeated there too.
But think about if so the only way Germany would be able to get troops into Britain would be through the air. Like, there's no way they could get naval supremacy.
No, because they had U-boat pens in Brest.
I don't think that's enough.
What I would have done, I've looked at this, and this is my theory. I would have attacked Britain at its weakest point, and that would have been going through the West Country.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can use a U-boat wolf packs into the Irish Sea, and just beyond that, we're helping to create like a corridor. Then you could have sent. They had transport planes. You could have jumped to transport planes, take over the airfields there because there's only a couple there at the time, and use that as a thing. And Germany would have won. Germany would have beaten Britain.
No, but what if? Okay, so the navy that's there, I believe it already should be enough. But even if it wasn't enough, like if Britain was seriously threatened by invasion, they would stop patrolling the Mediterranean and the Indian Sea and
they still would have done that. No, they still would have done that. But you're forgetting about the home fleet up in the Orkneys and Skara Brae.
Yeah, but I just don't think it's feasible for Germany to be able to land a big enough force to defeat and take over Britain. I think they could do so much damage that Britain was out of commission, but I don't think they could in any reality actually take control and invade.
Britain was prepared for a invasion. But this is all ifs and buts and coconuts.
Yeah.
So if Germany invaded Britain and they conquered Britain, they would have relaxed. They would have used British resources, British manpower. They would have taken some British ships that they would have got hold of, and British equipment, and they wouldn't have had to attack. They wouldn't have had to attack the Russia when they did.
How long do you think they would be able to delay Russia? because it's inevitable.
Oh yeah, it was inevitable, but you also forget that Russia was Germany's a German ally.
Yeah, but that was by convenience.
Yeah,
Everyone knew that it had to break eventually, and I
yeah,
don't
it
think
did
it could
take a break eventually, but Russia was still selling supplies to Germany to help to fight the Battle of Britain, along with Sweden too.
True, yes, but in this scenario, I think the moment that Britain is taken out, like in less than a month, I think they would have turned on the Soviets. It's like now they have through France a clear route to Portugal and Spain, and they also now have the British Isles. Probably some Navy stuff too, like the naval threat is somewhat lessened. Like I think they would have turned on Soviets immediately, because the earlier you turn on the Soviets, the easier that war would be, because they needed time to recover from Stalin's purges.
That's
So,
what they said. I'm just going by what the theories is. That if they would have defeated Britain, they would have stopped. They would have gathered themselves, gathered more supplies, then invaded Russia or the Soviet Union. Then they would have had a bit more supplies and all that, and they wouldn't have overstretched themselves in the way they did.
But I don't think they would have. Okay, it depends on how fanatical you think the Russian population is, because I don't think in any scenario that Germany could have actually, gone up to the Urals. Like they would probably, they could be able to get Moscow, Leningrad, Stalingrad, and control all the important areas, but I don't know how far they could get. But they would be able to basically win. My big issue is that if England, Britain was taken out on the mainland, I don't think they would stop fighting. All the colonies are still in war, and that's.
I wouldn't say it wouldn't stop fighting. I wouldn't said that.
Okay.
But using the Britain as a base, as a point of rest and getting supplies and the other equipment too, it would have probably doubled the German forces.
I don't think about doubled, but I think it would have halved the Allied forces at least, because if they would need to stop Germany, then it would have first also have to invade Britain.
For World War,
join the war. No
for World
what.
War II to really been won, you needed to have a free Britain.
I think
because Britain was used as a staging point.
Yes.
For Europe, it not talking about D-Day. We're talking about the bombing campaigns now.
Where did they launch Operation Torch from? Was that from the Azores, or was it?
Torch is Torch Africa.
Yeah, but where did they launch it from? Because, I'm thinking, if this was from Britain, it supports your point that Britain was the staging ground.
Britain already had forces in Africa at that time.
Yeah, but it was okay. But could those areas Britain controlled in Africa, on that side of Gibraltar, support an invasion of Morocco of that scale, or did they have to go through Britain? Because if they could support that from Africa, then landing in Britain to save Europe isn't absolutely necessary.
Okay, so British forces advancing from Egypt, and Operation Torch was the French North Africa and the territories of Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia.
Yeah, but wasn't there naval invasions into the west coast? Or am I misremembering?
I need to look that one up to find properly.
Okay, because I think there was some American. Wasn't there American naval invasions?
Yeah, there was Americans did take part in the African campaign. Yes.
Yeah. Either way, though, I do think Germany, maybe they would have been able to force a sort of white peace. Because what I'm thinking is, I think eventually Britain would get back into English hands, like the Americans will be able to liberate them. But I think at that point, you would have to at least wait 2 or 3 years until it would be able to try for France. And perhaps if Germany lessens their anti-Western rhetoric and, they finished off Soviets, you would maybe see a peace deal where Germany can survive, at least for a few more years.
Germany wanted the king who... Oh, what's that word? Who married Wallace?
Edward something.
Edward. Yeah, he would have known to replace his brother on the throne under a German government.
Yeah, But I don't think Britain would remain in any sort of way a German puppet. I don't think they would be able to do that
Oh,
long
the
term.
people wouldn't have had it. The people wouldn't have had it.
Yeah.
It would have been like for what France has had. France
Yes.
had, or not all of France was conquered.
I think it would have been worse in Britain because with France there's a land route. With Britain, like the navy of Britain, I don't think they would have surrendered at all. Like
Oh no,
Germany
the
would be
Navy
able to
would.
capture some things, but I think they would still be able to contest the waters somewhat. So I think
Yeah.
Germany would have a lot of difficulties holding on to
And
Britain.
you talk, yeah, it would have had a lot of difficulties, but they still would have been held on. And you also talk about the British Air Force too.
Yeah.
Royal Air Force. They would have moved further up to Scotland, and German troops weren't trained for the rigors of Scotland. I don't think.
No, well, maybe those maybe they could use those troops to fight in Greece. Like I know
Yeah.
it's of course different, but they are at least mountainous. So
Oh, there's a line from a movie I'm going to use. I need to look at. And this explains Scottish. This explains Scottish soldiers so well. Okay. Let me find this. Okay. Okay. Oh God, I'll go find this. It's from a comedy movie too.
oh, that's usually like taking from movies is great because they actually have some of the most amazing lines. Like
Yeah. Hold on, let me find it. I've got it now. Okay. Okay, let's see. I could get some half a quote. He goes to his daughter, and this is the Kaiser of Calabar. And he's talking about the British troops wearing kilts. And it goes, "Oh my child, you have not made war. Think how frightening it would be to have such a man charging at you with his skirt flying high up in air and his bayonet showing." That explains Scottish troops.
yeah, it reminds me of the sort of meme where we have this image, the really strong Roman troops marching into Britain, and it's just these naked boys with blue markings on them.
Yeah, it was the Scottish never or the Picts never wore armor.
Yeah, absolute.
And
bonkers,
the Roman Legion, I think it's the 9th Legion or Spanish Legion, which or was it Hispania as they call it? There wasn't Spain then; it was Hispania. Went into the area where the Picts were in Scotland and never came back. Nobody knows what's happened to them. They're the Lost Legion.
Wait, they were the Lost Legion was lost
Yeah.
in Scotland?
Yes.
Lost in like Persia or something.
Yeah, there's been a couple of Lost Legions, but the Hispania Legion went into Scotland. And they became part of the legend has it they became part of the Lost Legion because the Scots were a bit wild then.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Brits, like the British Isles in all of history, like either produced the absolute weakest of people, the dirtiest of all, or the best. Like either they dominate every single nation in their era, or they just lose to everyone, like a backwater or a forefront of civilization.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's places in Scotland that are older than the pyramids in Egypt.
Hey,
There's places
gents.
in Louisiana old.
Yeah.
Pyramids of Egypt. Welcome back, Moose. What kind of ice cream did you get?
Okay, so I got 3 different things. All right, I got a brownie with the dulce de leche ice
Oh, yeah.
cream in the middle of it, and then for my daughter, I got her a fresh strawberry shake, and then for the wife, I got her a maple and vanilla swirl with real maple syrup from Maine. The good shit,
yeah.
and it's all handmade ice cream. So it was really expensive, but you know what? It's Friday. It was a treat. And then I got done eating my treat, and I saw the fucking haters in the crowd, and I said, you know what? Dolby's and Paul is having a really good conversation, but it's not entertaining. So I got to
Oh,
come back here and slap these bitches.
What?
No disrespect to you. No disrespect to you guys. It was informative. It was informative and very valuable information, right? But I have to come back up here and tell not laws to not solicit. You know, and I don't give me unsolicited advice. And Chuck, you're a fucking beta too. Okay, you want to talk shit about
You're just too American right
Andrew
now.
Tate
You
and
can't understand
and
European
you've
mindset.
never been in the ring ever in your life. You've never been a champion ever in your life. The guy's a fucking world fucking champion, kickboxer. You can't respect the fact that he's a kickboxer. I don't have to give a shit what he does in his personal life. The dude's a champion.
Okay.
Okay?
this
Anyway,
is our
guys.
drama.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna step down because I've been
No.
summoned.
I'm done. I'm done, Paul. Go
No,
ahead and
no,
make
no,
your
no,
statement.
nothing about you, mate. I've been summoned by her upstairs, mate.
Oh, I
oh, okay.
understand.
Well, the
Yeah,
timing worked out then.
This is the
yeah.
witching hour, Paul. I apologize.
No, it's cool, mate.
This
You're
is
cool.
like our
Yeah.
commercials.
But Dolby, if
Every
you like
half hour or
another,
so, we have to run our drama.
I don't worry. I know, mate. I'm fine. But Dolby, if you want to have a chat about history, I do have. This is my channel. If you like to join, and I do lives, you can come up and have a chat.
Yeah,
Is that
please,
what your channel's about,
just
Paul?
type in chat
Yeah,
so we can
crime in history.
channel link.
All history, dude. I'm about that, dude. I'll be there.
Here,
Yeah.
I'll drop it in the chat.
So far, I'm getting a video done about a Irish freedom fighter named Kevin Barry, which I'm related to. So I'm going to do a video about him.
I love
Next week.
history, dude. So now you just touched my heartstrings.
Yeah, and also talking about crimes with murder.
And I love shit like that too. I'm like a Sherlock Holmes, man. I love this shit.
Oh, cool. Well, that's what my channel's going to be. I've done a couple of videos. Have a look. Moose, been a pleasure. Delby, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. It's been fascinating. I'll say that, Jeff. As always, mate, you do a good panel there.
You as well. Thanks
All
a
right.
lot, Paul.
Thanks a lot. Take care, guys.
Sorry, Dolbs, but we'll get to talking to Paul again. He's always around here.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
is a good circle. I just had to spurg out. Go ahead.
Well, to be fair, I think we spurred that harder than you, like compared to like the two topics. I think.
Well, now y'all really have some competition.
Oh, someone came. Hello, Mike.
So I'm back.
Yeah, you just missed the most epic history conversation ever. That bored
Well,
every single second.
I wasn't bored at all. I was listening to that shit on the side of my seat. I was sitting there gripping the fucking steering wheel, going, "Come on, keep going, guys, keep going." I was like, "Dude, this is good shit." It was
Almost
good.
as good as the interview Andrew Tate did with that psychologist. If you haven't seen it,
Oh, that is a good interview.
it's a whole. Andrew Tate has more layers to him than what you may be used to,
Oh,
and this
actually,
interview is a good way of seeing them.
There's an interview between Andrew Tate and Uberboyo from before Andrew Tate became famous at all, and that one is really interesting because it's basically just toned down Andrew Tate in some areas and more extreme in others. Like it feels, it's still the same. He's still the same person now as he was then, but you can clearly see that he has been impacted by the fame. So I don't know. I don't have the link, but I'll just type the name.
Thank you. We need that for sure. But
What are they saying?
also, one sec, Mike. One sec. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh,
But
you're good.
how could you not let the fame? How could you not let the fame affect you, dude? When you walk into a room and women just want to fuck you, like how could you not have a different feeling than when you walk into a room before you were a champion? Like, I mean, you literally don't have to do anything. When you get to his level, he walks in the room and women smell it on him. Go ahead, Mike. It's all you.
Did you find
You're
the
right.
link?
The what?
More money, more
Oh
problems.
no,
Just
I
about
put the
stuff.
link to the recent one that I was talking about, but I'm looking up the
Okay,
other one now.
I'll send you the link to the one from 5 years ago.
And it's not all about women either. But like he has respect from other
Chat,
men.
You'll copy paste it over.
He has access to people who can help build entire businesses, build communities, build all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
That's power, man.
That is what we
That's
need.
power.
He's very motivational, and bad, you know what? I'm not going to curse. A bad, you know what? Fighter, man. He was
You're not gonna
like you said. He was the champion of the world. He was. He was a world champ. Oh, give me 1 second.
Somebody's trolling you, Jeff. Every
Yeah.
single time Mike comes on panel now, he's getting phone calls. It's like every single time. Like this never happened before, right? He comes up here, then we get like
You think
40
he's trying to
trolls in the
fake a
chat.
life, like pretend like I have a life?
No, not him. Not him. I think people are calling him because they see him on your channel. They're like,
Oh,
we're not gonna let Mike talk on the
Right.
channel. We'll call him.
But I'm gonna,
they're like
I'm gonna say
sabotaging his
something.
trolling.
It was a telemarketer. It was a telemarketer. Can I talk
You
to
answer
you?
your telemarketer calls?
Because it had I have caller ID. Says old school phone, and I thought I knew who that was, but
Oh, okay.
yep.
I prefer Tristan Tate over Andrew Tate, though. I'll be honest. Of the two
Yeah.
brothers, I think Tristan is much more logical, and
Just that another one.
no, I just like Tristan Tate more.
Here, let me see. I don't think I know him as much.
He
Um,
he looks like Bruce Wayne, like Batman.
yeah, he's. Let me look up Andrew. So far, I'm going with Tristan too.
Yeah. Well, okay. The main difference actually between the two is that, Tristan is taller, but like aside from the physical aspect, like Tristan is a Christian, Andrew is a Muslim.
What's wrong?
They both. I would take either one. Andrew looks a little more angry, like a monkey, like a angry gorilla, and Tristan looks a little more like a human. But
Well,
I would probably end up with either one, knowing my damaged psyche.
Not laws is triggered.
That was
smoke.
always triggered. He sits up in
Triggered.
Canada, and he looks at the United States, and he stays triggered.
I mean,
That's
anyone who
the
lives in
Canadian or
America
fake
too long
news.
will have to face that realization that something is deeply wrong there. But it's up to you if that wrongness is going to be good for you or bad for you
The wrongness in the world, or
in America.
to me, America's not any more wrong than it's always been. It's just more of the same wrongness I've always seen.
Yeah, yeah. There
I
is
gotta
just
remember though, it's a there's new generations that grew up with the internet and different mediums, and they're seeing things. They're not seeing through the same
I
framework
mean,
that I
Jeff,
did
if you
growing
want
up.
if you want something a little mindfuck, I was 10 when Donald Trump was in the media and became a president.
What you mean in the media when he became a president?
Dang.
The Apprentice? Or...
Yeah, well, when he became so public that he, became a European, like he's
I
the
remember
most
that in the
popular world.
80s.
I was 10. Like I grew up with all of that.
I did too. In the 80s, he was a thing in the 80s too. He had Trump to Atlantic City. He was a celebrity. There was the Ivana Trump and the Marla Maples thing.
Yeah. Everyone grows up with their sort of stuff, but for me, that was like I remember making jokes about Trump and like PowerPoint presentations or whatever in like elementary school, mentioning him like that in the same breath as I mentioned like Nintendo games. I mentioned like it was
Because he
jokes
was
about
pop
Trump.
culture, American pop
Yeah.
culture. Yeah, that's kind of how I knew him. He was just always a pop culture figure. He was just always there.
I'm
He was
so
Trump.
my son. I had an original Nintendo, and I have tons of games. So I gave it to him. And he was still living in Virginia Beach, but then he ended up moving, and I'm like, damn it, now my Nintendo's gone. But yeah, I miss playing the old school games, Atari, Nintendo. So
That's the only games I ever played.
yeah. Now the games they're all like high tech and like in 3D, and it's like
I know. I tried to play Xbox like 15 years ago, and I couldn't even work the control. It was so complicated. It was more complicated than driving a car, like
Yeah.
working this controller.
No,
It's-
not at all. It's so once you actually get a hang of it,
I
like
could get. It had two knobs, and it had arrows, like different colored arrows with
Yeah.
different directions, and it had like two or three buttons that do different things. That's way more. Atari had a stick and a red button. That's it.
Yeah. Although that is generally why children's games on like consoles are much simpler. That like they just use one of the sticks and like 2 buttons, and the more complicated ones use way more. But like, isn't it? It's generally intuitive. 1 stick for movement, 1 stick for moving the camera. The buttons.
Wait, what?
The
You have
buttons
to move the camera separate from the person?
on,
You didn't have to do that.
sometimes.
It's like driving a stick versus a manual.
Sure,
Because in
but, like,
Atari,
don't
you
have
just
to.
moved the stick and it did everything.
But what if
Then
you
you have-
want to like peer up into the sky, into this crevice? Like then, instead of moving your whole body, you can just spin the camera around.
The first game, I
So
think
wait,
the
there's
first
2 controls? One for your
What?
vision and one for your body?
I have a controller.
I'm already getting dizzy trying to
No, it's
conceptualize
so
it.
intuitive. It's so
It's not.
intuitive.
You know what my son does? He does the VR with the glasses. He put the glasses on and you see the game. That
Yeah.
would freak me.
I
couldn't
did
do
VR
that.
once. It was neat, but when I took it off, I'm like, okay, well that was kind of neat, but
Yeah.
it didn't change my world, or I didn't have like a desire to suddenly keep
So
doing
easy.
it.
You just hold one stick for movement, 1 for camera.
I don't get that. Why do you?
Buttons for
Why did they
primary
split it
stuff.
into? What was wrong with just 1 stick for everything? Why?
You need extra mobility. You need like versatility. 1 for movement, and then you can do multiple stuff at the same time. Like,
To go
you-
from 2
Look,
dimensional
that's
to 3
That's
dimensional.
already what you're showing me is
No, it's
complicated. That's you're
easy.
making my point for me. Look at all that.
No, it's so easy.
Well, now you know why I never graduated past Nintendo.
Well, to be fair, that is a Nintendo controller. I'll just the most recent one.
Because the ones we had were like little gray ones with 4 arrows, and
Oh,
did
the
it have 1
SNES
button
or
or
the
2?
NES?
It was
Because you could only
Mario.
go 4 ways. That's
Yeah.
what you don't understand.
Yeah.
When you add in that other stick or whatever, you can go always 360 degrees. You know what I mean?
You
It
see,
made
whenever
it
you
good.
talk,
Kids have fun.
whenever you talk
It's
Nintendo,
just
Spike says that. Yeah.
Hey, Spike.
Spike, what's up? That's his avatar for me. I suck at Nintendo.
Oh, is
What's
he
up,
coming to
guys?
troll? Spike, are you coming to troll?
No, he's had that for years. It's funny.
Oh, okay. All right. Is he putting it up to troll? Because out of all
No.
the
Oh yes,
avatars,
it's a subtle troll for sure.
Yes,
Absolutely.
but we always talk
it
about
is a
Nintendo.
subtle troll. By the
Yeah.
way, there's $10 in drama money still around. Pat was here earlier today, reminded me.
All
Mike,
right,
what's your news?
Mike, if you want to get in the cage, what's up, Spike? Go in with Spike and go in with Dolby's. Let's see. 2-on-1. I've seen Mike take on 7 or 8 at once.
Yeah.
I've seen him take on entire chat rooms.
That's all good. Man.
He's
No,
like
I
the
have no-
Incredible Hulk, dude.
I still don't know why you don't monetize.
Me? I don't know. I think I honestly think I may make money doing it. I'm financially fine, but I might make them. But it'd be so much added stress. I think I don't want that stress.
No, I'm gonna make
to be
T-shirts. I'm gonna
motivated.
totally. I'll make. Well, I'll make 95%. I'll donate 5 to Mike because I'm gonna use his image and his name.
No, come on, man.
Yeah,
Like
you
Mike
could
Block.
license yourself, like just license your brand, and then we can make the money off of it.
Mm.
Yeah,
You
Jeff.
could get your little cut.
I'll split
See,
with
that's
Jeff.
the Satanist coming out of Jeff right there. We need to bring him back to Christ,
Well,
Mike.
You gotta pay me for all the
doing it,
videos
Dad.
I've appeared on.
We get there.
But real talk, Mike. Come on. I know
It's
you're a good
real.
sport about this, but
Yeah.
this would be an amazing T-shirt. It would sell like hotcakes. Come on.
Make one.
But
I don't
you
care.
know, I mean, it's all fun. It's not your real image. It's just a general name.
Just your
Like,
name, really. Not even
that
yours.
I
It's
mean,
a
I'd wear
common
that
name.
T-shirt. Jeff would wear that T-shirt. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I
It
would
is
wear
fun.
it.
I would wear that
Yeah,
Especially if
T-shirt.
I put some
I'm fucking
antlers on the
Mike,
Mario.
so-
Yeah, put antlers on top of Mario's head.
Yeah.
Besides, it's not even offensive because you claim Sega Genesis glory. You know.
No, I don't like that. I have a Genesis. I didn't really. I wasn't.
It's
I
almost a
wasn't.
badge of honor to suck at Nintendo now.
I love
Oh, I gotta
Sega.
take this over for a second. So my grandmother, right? She had this Sega CD / Sega Genesis combo. It was together, right? and I was playing the CD part, and all of a sudden I'm spinning around in this office chair, and the cord gets tied up in the chair, and the Sega CD part slams onto the ground and just breaks. Like that portion, of it, like the whole thing hits the ground, but the cartridge portion it works, but the Sega CD from that point on didn't work. I didn't tell anybody for years.
Was
I
that a
kept
Sega
that secret.
Saturn?
Did they? They didn't figure out it was you.
It was no, it was Sega Genesis with Sega CD.
Did somebody else take the fall for it?
No, nobody took the fall for it. I was in the clear for years until I told on
Those
myself
little
because I was
green
just
men.
I felt so guilty because people would bring it up in conversation. Hey, you remember that game Echo the Dolphin that we used to play? And
We
I'm
can't
like,
play it anymore
oh
because of Moose.
shit. So I came clean about it, but
You
it
did.
felt
You
bad.
did finally come clean.
Yeah, it felt terrible, but
Yeah.
once I got it off my chest, I was like, oh, that's dumb.
From
There's a
spinning
lot of
You
a
got,
around the
lot of
chair.
so many cool vintage games. I mean, like I just we have a place called Video Game Heaven, and all they sell is vintage games and cartridges. It's all they and they're always busy. People our age, people when you get to like the 40, 50, stuff like that, you're dying to play this stuff with your youth. You miss
Don't
it.
they have all that online now? Like you could just
Yeah.
play
yeah,
it
they
in your
have
browser.
versions online, and they even have that Nintendo. It's like $60, and it has like 300 games built in.
I have a Raspberry Pi, and it has all the old systems, Sega, Nintendo, even some of the arcade hits, like that Ninja Turtle game. You guys ever play that one, the four-player
I
Ninja
did.
Turtle?
Oh yeah,
What
in the
turtle?
arcade, that was great.
Yeah,
I
way
always
back when, before they took that shit out of the they took it out of the arcade, man, because it was one of the only games that didn't steal your money. You could beat the game, with only like $2 or $3.
The
So
Simpsons
they
game was like
took it
that
out.
too.
It wasn't a moneymaker.
what turtle do you use? What was your favorite turtle?
I liked Raphael because I was always like, the angry child who didn't have the
Yeah,
father. So I was like, I kind of resonated with him.
They
yeah,
had
I love that.
personalities and storyline, like
Yes,
backstories. Oh
They all
hmm
had
wow, I
different
didn't even know that.
weapons. Who had the
hmm
nunchucks?
That was
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo. He was
Yeah,
he
That's
that's
was cool, dude. He
Michelangelo.
was that happy dude, and he's always, yeah, let's go, cowabunga, dudes.
yeah.
Yeah, that was totally California style. I like
Then you
Michelangelo.
had Raphael which Raphael was like the most angry. He was always pissed. Yeah, and then you had what the guy with the bow, and then of course the guy with the sword with the katana.
Raphael,
Leonardo.
Michelangelo,
Leonardo was his
Leonardo, and
man. He was the
Donatello.
Donatello.
leader,
Donatello.
and Donatello
Then
was like
Don't ask me how I know. I just know
Donatello
my
was the
Renaissance people, I guess.
the first closet homosexual of all the Ninja Turtles for
Which one
sure.
was Donatello?
Donatello, yeah, he
What was
always
his
carried around a stick.
giveaway? His tail.
Yeah, he always carried around a stick, a phallic object everywhere he went.
the
And,
bow.
and he was
Ar-
he was a little. Did he have a bow too?
No. That was the stick. The weapon is the bow. It's a stick, but it's a long. And I'm. It's. I just, is it?
That seems like he would be more masked if he's carrying around a phallic
I don't
object.
know, man. He just didn't seem like he had it, dude. He didn't have as much personality as Raphael or Michelangelo.
Oh,
And
usually the
Leonardo was
gays
in
have
charge of
a lot of
everybody, so it was
personality.
like, he had to be like the fourth out of everybody. I've never heard anybody say they vote for him over any other turtle. I
The
mean,
other
seriously.
turtles in the neighborhood used to call him Donatello. That's like a Browns boy joke. I apologize.
But you have to say it much slower,
Brownsville, you have your
probably.
own brand of humor now.
We're really proud. Yeah.
Yeah, he spits out some really weird jokes, but everybody has their own sense of humor.
Do you
Definitely.
guys remember? Did you guys have like the not Blockbuster, or maybe Blockbuster, but just like those VCR rental or
hmm
VHS tape rental places that you could rent the whole game system? That was the
Yeah, now
party
that I think
weekend for
about it.
us.
And you could rent VCRs, but those
hmm
that didn't have their own VCR.
Yeah. It wasn't Blockbuster. It wasn't Blockbuster, but it was another one down by the ocean front, and you could rent
Oh,
you
that
could
one.
rent a VCR. Yeah. But
Hollywood video.
Blockbuster was the place to be. Remember Blockbuster used to always be jumping in there. People,
I spent
scouring.
hours in there just looking at
Yeah,
picking out a movie. Would spend
yeah,
half of an entire evening just trying to find the movie.
yeah.
Hey, speaking of ninjas and shit, what about the three ninjas?
Oh, the three kids. The
Yeah,
ninja
man.
kids.
That was like that and Home Alone. What about Home Alone? That dude was the biggest gangster.
Yeah.
That dude was home by himself and he outsmarted two burglars. He had them frying their hair, fucking slapping them in the balls with some fucking wood. I mean, come on.
You
Joe
know,
Pesci. Yeah.
yeah. So many good movies, so many good memories. Music and cinema, movies. It
Yeah,
brings you somewhere.
Gen X. We had the best generation. We had the
Yeah.
best.
I know. Why did you guys fuck it up? Why did you guys hand it over to ours?
What were we supposed to do? That's all human generations work.
You guys were supposed to hold on to like the hair bands and the
But
punk
we gave you
rockers and
the internet.
stuff.
Y'all had the internet, and we gave you that, and then you're supposed to take it from there, and y'all pretty much have.
I mean, dude, the first thing I looked up was Mariah Carey's titties. So let's get real. That was the first naked chick I ever saw online, and it was fake.
Or they had. Oh, it was fake. Even back then,
Did you
the
see what
deep
happened to
fakes.
her? Did you see what happened to
Mariah
Mariah Carey?
Carey's online?
No, I didn't. She was with Nick Cannon for a while, but what
Yeah.
happened?
This just happened, I think, last week. Her mother and her sister died on the same day.
Whoa.
Google it. She must be dead. She lost her mother and her sister on the same day. Imagine that.
Who
Talk about
did?
In an
double.
accident?
I don't know the details. All I know is I saw, one of those short ones that when you log on. I didn't read the whole story, but I just saw that. But let me know if it says how. I'm not sure.
Are you saying this just happened?
Probably about a week ago. But if you go,
Oh,
a week ago or less than a week ago. It's Friday, so it might have happened early in the week. I can't
Oh,
Google. I can't Google.
Sorry.
You
Lance is in the
want me to look
chat.
it up?
He was here when I said that. Joke. Lance a joke.
Yeah. Sad.
yeah, died on the same day as her mom. She was on hospice care. Estranged sister Allison, so they were
Hey, back
estranged.
to Ninja Turtles. Not Law said that in Ninja Turtles 2 there was a gay dude called Kenji. And also he pointed out how I was right about Donatello being gay, but uh yeah, there's something about somebody being trans and shit too.
That was gaydar.
Oh shit. The gaydar's going off, Jeff.
That was good, right?
Well, I've been here all day, so I don't know what set it off.
As soon as you said Donatello, it went right off. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's so much going on in the world right
Oh shit, I'm smoking the house out, folks.
now. Oh my goodness. Is anything else going new in anyone's life?
Not really. I gotta go run errands later. That's about it.
I'm gonna sleep later.
Right?
What's
Oh
that?
yeah. What time is it there?
Um, in 10 minutes, it's 11.
11 at night. Is it? And
Yeah,
it's your Friday, so it's not like
yeah,
a
it's
school
Friday.
night.
So
So are you
it's
doing the college thing, like the partying on the weekends and the frat? Do y'all have
not
frat
much.
fraternities there?
Not much. I know most people they like to use alcohol and parties to get to know people, but I'm more of a, I'll party when I already know them.
Oh,
It's like, but
I
no, in
party
general, I
after I
just
get to
don't.
know. Are you smoking weed at all, or doing
Nah,
psychedelics or anything like that?
nah, not yet. I gotta wait until I actually understand the stuff, and then only once. I want to do like Plato and Aristotle. They talked about their greatest experience was going to these Eleusinian mysteries. A single experience, and that's it. And they just contemplate that. That's the only shape or form I'll ever even think about
Just the
doing any
one,
sort of
the one
psychedelics.
experience.
Yeah.
That's what you think. Till you try it.
But the only
Yeah.
thing is, I can tell you this: I haven't done hard drugs. I mean, I drank, of course, but if you're going to do it somewhere safe where people are around you that care about it. In case you flip out. Just in case you flip out. Don't do it like by yourself.
Dobe, I can't imagine Dobes flipping over anything.
You know what's funny? You know, when I was like, and so I was at this party like before summer, like end of high school party. You know, which is probably very weird for you Americans because you don't get to drink until 21. But like, we
Oh no, we had them.
so like I was at this party. I got really drunk, and you know, I found out what I'm like drunk. So I just stood in the corner of the kitchen, admiring the freezer. Like, damn, that's a nice
So you
freezer.
were like
Look at the
more of a cerebral drunk.
Maybe. Like I'm just damn, look at those like
That sounds
look at
more
all the
like
layers. It's like into the
right.
corner and damn, you have a nice
Man, if that's you
freezer.
drunk, I'd see you on acid.
Oh yeah.
That's most people on acid.
Are you fresh out of high school?
Yes, I ended high school before the summer. I'm now in college. So yeah.
Oh, cool. Very good.
What are you going to major?
Fresh blood. Psychology. I'm doing a bachelor in
nice.
psychology.
Well, there's a lot of crazy people, so you'll always have a job. You know, you'll stay busy.
True,
So-
true. But maybe I'll end up being, you know, what if I get infected by the crazy? The more I learn, the more I see diagnoses in
Well,
myself.
try not to, because we're gonna need you could be a panel psychologist. We're gonna need all the sanity.
It's
You
a
can
it's
get it. This
difficult.
is the
Commissions
future.
for that. I'm gonna need to take commissions for that. I am on a college budget right now.
You should set yourself up with a website and start like doing. I had friends did that when they were in their trainings. They freelanced and did listening sessions and things like that.
Yeah. Although if I'm going to earn money online, like it'll have to be through something creative. Like I know I could
I
do
like to
something
move
with
it,
streaming,
move
but
it,
that takes way too much time. I just
move it.
don't want to do that at all. But like actual creative content is definitely the way to go.
Stop that.
Oh,
Stop that news.
Do you still have your podcast? Is that the weed? That must have been a sativa. You still have your podcast?
Well, of course I still have it, but considering that, you know, we've kind of split up. Like one of the friends who has the studio is still back down in my hometown, and I moved out, so like that podcast is basically dead. But we did get like 5 good episodes, and I'd say
Oh.
like 5 high quality
It
episodes.
was a good
Yeah.
show.
But I'll have to try to make something more. I mean, I am a bit self-conscious about the microphone I have now, which is kind of funny because most people would be self-conscious about the content they create. Like, do I have the
Is it not phallic
to
enough?
create? But I just think that it's my microphone that's the biggest limiter.
Is your microphone not phallic enough?
Man, I'm gay and I'm not even obsessed with phalluses as much as the guys out here.
No, but I
Right.
mean, like, it's just I don't know how it sounds, but to me, I think this doesn't sound that good, and it would really detract from a video.
Man,
it
if
sounds
you
okay.
just
It
got a
doesn't
little bit
sound
of
as good as your
self-confidence, you'd be
other-
100 times better. But see, you're holding yourself back because you're afraid of success. But here we are today.
Nah.
You're talking and having
Nah.
a conversation. You're doing great.
But this isn't like planned effort.
Oh,
I'm-
so you
because-
don't sound good today.
Ooh.
You sound fine today, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, but
You
he
sound
he
fine.
sounded
that was
better
spoiled.
before. I know what he's talking about because I know
Yeah.
his old mic, and
Well, listen
there
to
is a
the-
difference.
Listen to the podcasts I did with a few friends. Like that was actual high quality. Like, holy
What's
shit!
your microscopic problem?
Yeah, microscopic problems. Like the microphone quality was about beyond the roof. Like,
But y'all were pro.
yeah, don't do the first episode. That's bad. Like, do the
Here, I'll
final episode, or the final has a cringe intro. But like, I mean, we had high quality everything. Like the camera. I know my friend, he borrowed his dad's camera, which was $4,000 or something. It's like for our first video project, we had a $4,000 camera, a $1,000 audio mixer, a $1,000 PC.
Norwegian privilege.
Yeah, like $200, $300 per mic. We bought black curtains to blacken the background. We dressed nice. We had guests. Like, I am so spoiled by the money and the quality we had that now, like, this microphone is like,
So this is just like luxury problems.
Yeah, this is definitely luxury problems.
Very
I
true.
mean, if I just accept that, you know, other channels have succeeded with bad audio and video, so
You
I
look at your
should be
own
able
one
to do
right
so
now.
too. Um,
And my thing is I was telling you, you're basically making excuses. You realize you're making excuses. You're holding your back from success. I
yeah,
think you should do it. I think you should do it. I think that by doing it, you'll earn enough money to buy a new microphone. Next thing you know, pow! You're on your game. You're running again. You're running and gunning.
that is true. And I already have the camera quality, I'd say, because my phone camera quality is sufficient. So you're right. I should just. I don't know what I should though. I don't like streams because then, you know, it takes too much time where you have to be, you know, focusing online and you don't know if it's gonna mount to anything or not. Like joining streams like this,
True.
I just join because it's fun, you know. I like talking to Jeff and he has interesting guests. But like, if I'm going to actually produce something, not necessarily of high quality, but produce something creative, I'd.
Are your podcasts pre-recorded or are they live?
Oh yeah, they are pre-recorded. We were going to make like clip them up and have some shorter segments too, but that just never happened. So instead, we just have 5 like 2-hour
But they were
podcasts.
filmed live, right? They were.
Yes,
You didn't do any
and
editing.
they were also clipped together live. So like my friend on his mixer, he would manually switch between the cameras. So we had 3 cameras, one that
Nice.
filmed all of us, and then one for one side of the table where me and Lion sat, and then the other for Meth. And so he would just switch so the camera is always pointing towards the one who is talking. So
That's
we
beautiful.
live
See, that's
editing.
beautiful, man. You had the whole studio set up. You had everything.
Not
But check
bad
it
for
out.
high school
I'm
project.
telling you, even if you're just gonna go to these panels, right? You're gonna go from here to there. I think that you should hit that button, stream to your own channel, and then in a couple years, when you look back and you're like, damn, I've gone to 700 panels. Oh shit, I'm monetized for being on someone else's panel. Oh shit, I got my own following. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I can afford a new microphone without even having to dip into my own money. Like, you know what I mean? I'm telling you, like, I've been doing this for 3 or 4 years now, and I'm finally working on actually myself getting myself monetized. I got 4 other channels monetized. I've helped other people make thousands of dollars on
Mhm.
here. I'm telling you, don't be like that. Don't miss out on opportunity when it's free. All I got to do is hit the stream to my own audience, and bam, it's free.
We'll hit it. How
I came
how
in too
far are
late.
you away now?
I
Are
would
you
like to
monetized
start.
yet?
I still need 2,500 watch hours because
Oh, it's just the
I
watch hours.
it's the watch hours. That's all it is. Because when I hid all my videos, because people were trolling me like Mike, they were trolling me as hard as Mike, I'd say. I just deleted all my videos for a little bit, and
That's impossible.
it took all my shit away.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I removed most of my content when I was in a certain community that trolls came after me for a while. They just didn't like they didn't like my balance. They wanted me to be all shook and crazy.
That's why you should keep a separate account for like in the separate scenarios you're in. So you
I
can
yeah,
had
but see, it's still monetized.
999 I had 999,000 watch hours at that point. I was the year before I met this side of YouTube, I was flourishing on the watch hours.
And then you came here.
Well,
Yeah,
much before here,
What
before I
was
even met
where were you
Mike.
before? Like where were you flourishing? Describe that part of YouTube.
this part of YouTube is where great ideas go to die.
Yeah. or never get born.
or they
I
die
mean,
in the
people screenshot it because I literally was like bordering a million. I had some videos that just went viral, sort of viral, music and food stuff.
Oh
And
yeah, that does sound like more elevated content. That does sound like a
yeah, and I
different
actually
side
came
of
to
YouTube.
YouTube because Instagram got crazy for me. I had a couple of videos, and actually one of them, well, they weren't even like one of them used music, but I was doing stuff like talking about pediatric cancer. Like I was just doing things, hitting the heartstrings. But I left because I couldn't keep up with 100,000 comments a day. Like I was trying to keep up with people on Instagram, and I went nuts. Went to YouTube for some peace, and then within a month or two, found chaos. Found y'all,
What
not
a
y'all, but
journey.
you know.
I'm gonna go sleep now. Good night, and it was really fun talking.
It was a pleasure. I've been thinking about you, so I'm glad you showed up.
Ooh.
I'll come back
Yes,
in 2
definitely.
weeks or 3 weeks. I don't know how long it'll
And
be
come
until
come
next
and
time.
share some nuggets from your studies too, periodically.
Yeah, post your channel. Sounds interesting. I love
Yeah.
podcasts. If I'm not watching a live stream, I'm usually watching podcasts.
It was posted.
Here, there's the one he did with his friends, and then he
Yeah.
has his own channel. But I don't think you do content on it yet.
No, the only thing I've posted on this channel is like school projects. It's like not interesting, but on that, yeah, it's good. Although episode 1 is a bit, it's lower production value, so I'd recommend like not starting with it.
They're used to that.
Cool, I like it. I'm already looking.
The creative value too. Like we just messed around for like the first 10 minutes. It's just horrible, but into it, it gets much better.
Oh, it's
But
cool, man.
also,
Good luck.
we had proper intros for episode at least 4 and 5, and that's a really big improvement because I love those intros. Like, I from time to time just go back purposely to watch like the intro to episode 4 because I love it. I just the way you just clip everything together and you have the song like it's wonderful.
That's awesome, man. Well, keep going, man. Keep doing your thing. Keep going. You're only going to get better and better. Just gotta keep doing it.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna sleep now. Good night.
All right, man. Take care.
Okay, good night, Dobis. Get good sleep.
You're a nice kid. What's on?
Yeah,
Anything
Dobis
else?
was my very first guest.
Nice guy. I had a feeling he was younger because you could tell by his voice, but I didn't realize he was like 18, 19 years old. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, he
look at that
showed
guy.
up. I met him in a chat room and invited him on my show, and he showed up. I had no idea who he was. He was just a screen name, and he shows up,
Yeah.
and he's this 17-year-old high school kid, and we're having one of the most intellectually intense conversations that I'd
Yeah.
had at that time.
I never talked to anyone from Norway on panel before. So.
Oh, is he from Norway? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know he's 9 hours ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he said Norway.
Norwegian.
That's a pretty cool country. Norway, Sweden, all those surrounding Finland. They're all, the Arctic, Nordic, right? Like the Nordic people.
Yeah, I got home and he was going at it with Paul, and I definitely didn't think he was.
They are. I'm
They were
glad
on
met.
level.
They had a lot to say. Yeah, they had a lot to say to each other.
Yeah.
What's up, Liliana?
Hey, Luna.
Yeah, man. So, Jeff, it's cooler where you are. It's not like 95, 100 degrees, right?
No, not that.
Every day, it's been almost 100, 94, 95.
I saw where they were having some kind of heat wave hitting the East Coast.
Some places, I think. Some
LA today.
Is it really?
It hasn't been. It's 80 degrees today. I'm wearing a hoodie for the first time in like 3 months.
But aren't you near the beach, Mike?
No, I'm in North Hollywood, which is like half hour from the beach.
I thought you were like in Venice or something. Not Venice.
I used to live in Venice, but
okay.
that was wild.
Yeah. You seem like the kind of guy that would live by the water, which is calming.
You know, I actually prefer freshwater over the beach, over the ocean. I love lakes and rivers.
Salute.
Hey, Tommy.
Spike, I lived in this condo, right? And right in the backyard was a huge lake, and it was just so cool. Just go out and sit down again. Yeah, it's nice.
All I want to do is escape LA and live off a river or a lake.
What was that, the Kurt Russell movie, Escape from LA?
Yeah.
What's up, Tommy?
You getting off of work?
Yeah. Schmah. Yeah, but life just seems to keep going and going and going. Nothing too interesting, nothing too crazy lately. Same mundane.
Sometimes
Hanging.
that's good. Like you take that for granted,
Yeah.
but then you look back and
That's
long
why I've
for
been a
those
lot
times
calmer lately.
again.
Been a lot calmer lately because I'm not engaging with all that negativity. I'm a little bit is okay. A little bit's okay. But like some of these people are just like, it's like, oh, like non-stop. And it's like, I don't know how people can live like that.
Yeah, don't engage it.
I don't. Unless, I'll debate or argue with somebody, but I'm not going to be cursing at people. It's too much. That's what they want you to do.
Yeah, I know you're doing it now. It's somehow it got activated.
It's different kinds of trolling. There's a soft
I
troll and a
guess
hard troll.
Tommy lost connection.
Yeah, he's probably has to take care of
He's
something
playing
before
that
he
he's in the parking lot.
probably called him back in to fix something else. Oh, yeah, but everything's good.
Cool.
Fire
What's
shots
today?
are outside.
Friday? They got all that stuff going on in the Panelverse. Easy does verbal combat. Half the Panelverse streams. Oh, Shiva's streaming right now.
Hmm. Been tired lately. I don't know why. I've been so tired.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of nappy myself. Y'all want
Yes.
to take a break and then
Yeah,
come back later?
no doubt. Yeah, I'm gonna jump down.
Okay, we can do that.
And it's gonna say rage quit and
Nah, I think it's kind of wrapping up. We're
yeah.
running
Hey,
out.
salute,
yeah,
dude.
my bad. Later, Mike.
Salute. All right,
Yeah, I'm
guys.
gonna go get some orange chicken and walnut shrimp. See you guys.
Nice.
That sounds good
Later,
for
brother.
Panda
Later.
Express.
Yep, Panda Express Day.
That's it.
Well, enjoy. I'll probably be back out later tonight.
All right, later, guys.
Take care.
Later, man.
Later, Moose.
See you later, Mike.
I'm gonna eat some spaghetti. I'm gonna get some spaghetti meat sauce that I have left over from yesterday. So that's it. If
Sounds
you could
very
pop on
Italian.
around, yeah, if you pop on around, I'll definitely get back up.
Okay.
Take care, Jeff. Get some beauty sleep.
I'll work on it.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Alrighty. Take care. Rage exiting and going. Yeah, Angel's streaming too. Here, I'll drop his channel. Yeah, no, I think that was a good stream today. We went, what, 3.5? That's pretty good. Like I said, my plan is to start earlier in the day. I just need to if I start early in the day, then I risk going all day and not getting my shit done. But if I do my shit done in the morning, then I can't start till afternoon. And so I need to work all that out. But anyway, here's Angel's panel. Y'all can go over there. Ladybug's on. Angel's on. And then I will probably be out tonight, the Panelverse. But if not, there's plenty going on a Friday. So I'll see you tonight or tomorrow, Saturday. And P.F. Jung is doing his show tomorrow, so I'll probably be there. And then I might try to do an all-day stream after that. All right, take care, and talk to you later.